First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello, 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 Davey Portman here from upNXT for a brand new watch-along. Hello Twitch room, how are we doing? Are we hyped for TLC? Tables, ladders and chairs, oh my. But I cannot do this alone. I am joined, as always, with some very good friends. Yes, first of all, I would like to introduce, what do we call him? The social media manager, the producer of NXT. He is Mr. Ceno Evil, Mr. Zombie Pod, Mr. Shot in the Dark, John Ceno. How are we doing, my friend?
WWE TLC 2020, tables, ladders, and chairs. I am here to have some fun tonight, so let's get right down to it.
And then back by popular demand after last week's Triple Mania watch-along. You may know him from Chocolate Croissants. You may know him from Unnecessary Conversations. You may know him from Ring of Fucking Honor. It is Mr. Jordan Goodman.
Yes! What the fuck are we doing, guys? Davey, you know how to turn it on when the camera goes red. That was pretty impressive.
Oh, well. It's as if I trained in it, right?
Perhaps. Happy to be here. Happy to see people in the Twitch room. We call it a Twitch room, yes? Is that how it works?
It's the Twitch room, yep. We be twitching.
People are commenting, and we're going to have a fun night. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh, my. Yes, so it's a pretty... I don't know. I haven't really been enjoying TV recently with WWE. But I gotta say, on paper, I think this could be a good show tonight. And I actually don't think the pay-per-views have really disappointed this year. Ceno, let's start with you. What match are you most looking forward to?
I'll be honest, the Roman Reigns Kevin Owens match probably has the most anticipation throughout the night. I feel like with the last Smackdown, at least, with Kevin Owens keep getting up from his beatdowns from both Jey Uso and Roman Reigns has really got me intrigued into what's going on tonight. I feel like Kevin Owens is going to sacrifice himself. He told his family and his wife and his son not to watch tonight. So that has me intrigued into what exactly he is going to do that entitles him to say that tonight. So that's my go-to watch for a match for the night.
And Jordan, how familiar are you? How up-to-date are you with the product? Do you have a match you're most looking forward to tonight?
I'm mostly ignorant to the past few weeks or so. I listen to John and Wave's podcasts, but often it's that comfort food as I make breakfast in the morning. So I'm not listening to every detail. I have a vague familiarity with the matches tonight. Although, what I'm most interested right now, Davey, you said that on paper, this seems like it could be a good card. And this is called a pay-per-view. I never made the connection there.
Oh, yeah.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. Yeah.
So I'm more fixated on this right now than perhaps the matches. Kevin Owens, of course, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. They both, I think, I know this isn't going in cold. There is a story and there's some heat, we could say, but they are two performers, two artists that I think even if they were put in the ring cold live on pay-per-view, I think they would offer something of value every time.
I think that's Kevin Owens, really, isn't it? I think you can give him, if you need someone to fill that role, Kevin Owens can slot in so easily. You just need to give him a mic for a couple of weeks, and the match goes from being very cold to very hot. And he's great in the ring, and I think us wrestling fans want to see Kevin Owens in more main event matches. So Roman Reigns, I think, is maybe the hottest character in wrestling right now. I think that's going to be very good. But also AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre. I think Drew has had a very solid year. And AJ is obviously one of the best. So I'm very much looking forward to that one as well. I just realized my feed is about 2 minutes behind. So I'm going to try and restart that because I believe the show's already started, right?
It's showing like a program right now, I guess, for Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt is showing a little bit of a...
He just lit him on fire?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, awesome. We're back on. And how do we feel about this Firefly Inferno match. It's been quite a while since the last Inferno match. I think if you want to count the Ring of Fire we had at SummerSlam a few years ago, Bray Wyatt and Kane, but that was still pinfall. I'm wondering, is this going to be setting a guy on fire? What do we think, guys?
It's been a while since we saw a cinematic match, so I kind of want a cinematic match, especially after the Firefly Funhouse with Wyatt and Cena, going through the history of Cena. I would kind of like that with Orton, but I don't know if this match specifically is meant for that. They said it's a Firefly Inferno match, so it's like kind of hard to tell if it's going to be cinematic or not. I feel like it's been long enough to the point where we can probably get that tonight. And Orton has like the type of history where we can go through his like past and see a little bit of past Orton in this, if that's the route that they are willing to take tonight.
I feel like this isn't going to be like the Cena Firefly Funhouse match. I think it is going to be a bit more set the other guy on fire. I think that's a great way of kind of... You can have The Fiend lose this, but he's not eating a pin. He's just setting his sleeve on fire and running off. It kind of puts Randy in a more prominent position going into WrestleMania season, whether it be... whether it's going to be Edge he's against or what. I think these guys are going to be relatively protected, and I think something like an Inferno gimmick can sort of do that. So I think we're going to see The Fiend set on fire tonight.
Pro wrestling, people.
And we're starting with the WWE title match. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles in a TLC.
First time ever, I think.
First time they're ever meeting. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. What's our predictions here? Jordan, who do you have for this match?
They can't take the title off of Drew McIntyre. I mean, they did take it off of him. I'm not quite sure why, and put it right back on him. And AJ doesn't need the title. AJ is, I think, similar to what you were talking about in that Kevin Owens role. I just think slotted a bit higher. And from a more general pro wrestling audience, I think they see as AJ a few slots above. But does he have momentum going into this? I'm not sure on the build.
So the other aspect here is The Miz, who is Mr. Money in the Bank right now, and has kind of... Him and Morrison have sort of been aligning themselves with AJ. So it's definitely one of these feuds where I think AJ kind of has had the momentum just with the numbers game. I agree with you. I can't see them taking the title off Drew, but I'm wondering if we're going to have a cash-in with Miz in one of the title matches tonight. I think it could be something different we haven't seen before. We saw Seth Rollins at WrestleMania turn the main event into a triple threat match. Could we see The Miz run in with two guys just taken down and turn it into a triple threat TLC match where all he has to do is climb the ladder and grab the title? I think that could be something quite unique. But I don't really see the title being taken off of Drew or Roman right now.
No, absolutely. I don't see Drew dropping the title right now. Almost looking nice with his nice little Lara Croft Tomb Raider jacket that he's wearing tonight. But I feel like this is going to be a good showcase to show Drew in matchup that he hasn't really done since winning the title. He hasn't really fought anybody amongst the calendar of AJ Styles. So I feel like it's going to be a nice little matchup between them two. But Drew is eventually, I think, going to retain the title tonight.
AJ's heavy. His name's Omos now?
Almost, yes.
So him just coming out and then them doing their poses to hard cam, that was the most personality I've seen from his face since him debuting, however long ago it's been. I haven't watched the past few weeks. Have they given him more personality or a more distinct kind of vibe?
Almost? No,
not really, yeah.
He's just, his personality is he's 9 feet tall, you know?
So maybe it's just experience and just getting more reps in front of these cameras on live TV, but even just seeing his facial features, that was the most I've seen him emote ever. His name was Jordan, wasn't it?
It was,
yeah. Big Jordan, yep.
Stupid name.
Well, they call me Big Jordan around here, people.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was like a NXT PC talent that never wrestled on TV or even on house shows when they could, and they just kind of threw him on as a bodyguard on Raw Underground when Shane McMahon was running it, and then he kind of transitioned to this bodyguard role for AJ Styles.
Did we like Raw Underground?
I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird experiment, Raw Underground, honestly. It just happened and disappeared.
It's like WWE with everything. There's like a nugget of a good idea there. They just kind of refuse to, roll with it and work with it. I think something like a Raw Underground could work and could actually be quite interesting, but in execution, it was just thrown together, didn't really make much sense. And
Who was
then
that
just
one
disappeared.
guy? There was that one guy that was in the tag team in NXT, and then they brought him up with no definitive direction. He showed a lot of personality on Raw Underground. You know who I'm talking about?
Was it
Riddick
Eric?
Moss?
Riddick Moss. Riddick
Rick
Moss.
Moss, okay.
He was someone that I never felt much from as far as personality and emotion, and it seemed like that whatever license they gave him to be himself perhaps, or to act like a shoot fighter, his fire, I believed.
Yeah, Andrew in the chat room is also saying Eric from War Raiders, Viking Raiders, when his partner got injured. Yeah, I mean, there are so many people in that company that it could have worked for, but we never really got, like, what are the rules of a Raw Underground? What do you get? It was just Shane sort of waving off the match all of a sudden. But some people in the Twitch room are actually saying that over the last couple of weeks, Omos has shown a bit more personality. I'm kind of glad we haven't seen him wrestle yet. I would hope WWE start to learn from someone like The Big Show, who lost his attraction appeal very, very soon. And I even think in AEW they've done quite a good job with Wardlow, where we haven't seen him wrestle every single week, and they're kind of trying to hold him back. And maybe that's sort of what they're doing with Omos here. And I also don't think he's probably ready for a decent singles run yet.
Drew McIntyre's sword is pretty large, I have to admit. It's a pretty big sword that he's bringing to the ring.
Isn't it Vince McMahon's sword?
Is it?
I think so. I think that's what someone said recently. It's the sword that's in Vince's office.
I heard or read that too. Maybe a Triple H press conference or something like that, media call. John, what kind of pizza are you working with, my friend?
Today we are going with Meat Lovers Pizza.
Wow.
That we are going with, yeah. It's
Wow,
not.
can we
It's,
say,
it's not
can we
Little
say
Caesars.
from where?
It's not Little Caesars. It's an independent shop around here. I think it's called Giovanni's. Is that the name of it? Yeah, Giovanni's restaurant. So not Little Caesars level, but very good pizza, I admit.
Well, last weekend when I told everyone I was eating Little Caesars, that was complete and utter bullshit. That was also local pizza. Little Caesars I've had maybe once or twice. Is that actually good though?
What's that?
Is Little Caesars actually good pizza?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't had Little Caesars in about 10 years, and last I remember, it was not good. No.
I would never think
Yeah.
to spend money on that.
Yeah, no. Especially living in New York, Little Caesars, Domino's, Pizza Hut are the last places you want to try.
I've ordered Chipotle tonight, so I've got that coming. I've got some tacos. I've got a burrito bowl. They're giving me free chips and guac.
Whoa!
I'm very excited. We do not get sponsored by any of these companies, guys.
Free chips
I'm
and guac
actually-
from Chipotle sounds really good right now.
I'm personally sponsored by Wishbone Dressing. Here's the creamy French.
There we go.
Wish-bone.com, people.
And remember, guys, if you're new to this Twitch chat, make sure you give us a follow as well. We do watch-alongs for every WWE pay-per-view. Every kind of main Impact pay-per-view. We do them for AEW as well. And we do our live post-show every Wednesday night for NXT. So if you're new to us, if you're just finding us through the Twitch, give us a little follow. And all our socials are on the screen as well. So give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Jordan is our big Amish. Is giving me a Rocky Maivia the Rock vibe right now with his black turtleneck with the gold chain. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but it definitely represents the Rock.
I feel like maybe that look's coming back. I'm seeing it a lot recently. Ricky Starks rocks that a lot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Davey, when's the last time you wore a gold chain in public?
I don't think I've ever worn a gold chain. I got when I went to... Oh, what's... Drew has gauntlets now? Okay. But he's taking them off. He was like, oh, these look dumb. Thought these would be cool.
What?
They look dumb.
What are they called?
You can't really wrestle with those gauntlets on. That's a little weird. I've never seen Drew wear those.
A gauntlet, like a gauntlet match gauntlet?
No, like a Batman gauntlet. You know, like your arm.
Yeah, a little...
No,
yes,
I don't.
Andrew. Dominic did rock that look as well.
How do you guys feel about AJ Styles with the black and green neon look?
It's cool. I always like AJ's gear. I always think of him... I like him in the sort of white and blue the most. But I think AJ's gear always looks pretty good.
So this is a TLC match, right? Yes.
It is.
TLC match, okay.
So I'm curious if anyone in the Twitch room right now is not watching TLC on a different screen.
Oh,
if you're
Eric
in the
Marcotte
Twitch,
definitely isn't.
Okay, so maybe Eric and anyone else, if you're watching this this Twitch stream but not watching TLC, maybe drop the tennis ball emoji in the comments just to let us know.
Andrew Garfield is saying that he is representing the Global Force colors with the black and green. With the Jeff Jarrett Global Force wrestler.
Did you just say Andrew Garfield?
Yes, I did I? Andrew McDonald.
Oh.
Andrew McDonald.
I mean, if Andrew Garfield was in the room.
John, you also called me a Jordan Goodwell on that show.
I have done that lately a lot because of the Beatwell and Goodman. I combined them and I make Goodwell, which I actually like. So I'm gonna start calling you Jordan Goodwell from now on, if you don't mind.
I'll allow it.
Oh, thank you, B Detroit, for the gifted sub, and I believe Kendall's just picked it up. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you to all of our subscribers. Subscribers can do cool things like this. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, no AEW spoilers, guys. We don't want any AEW spoilers in the room.
Did AEW film, I guess, this week? I have not even been aware of that. Okay.
It's just a joke.
No AEW spoilers. Smackdown is taping on Tuesday, by the way. So they will not be having a live show on Christmas Day. That's good to know. They don't have to wrestle on Christmas.
They're airing on Christmas Day, though?
Yeah, they're going to tape on Tuesday and air on Christmas Day.
Okay. I probably won't be watching that this week.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like with the TLC pay-per-view in particular that the luster of the TLC match has kind of been downplayed? I feel like it's not as important as it used to be. Like when we were here TLC matches, it was so important. And now with the yearly pay-per-view, it doesn't feel like it's a big deal anymore.
100%. I was having this conversation with Mike Hogan earlier about how we were saying, oh, I think Kevin Owens is going to do something crazy. And it's like, yeah, but we're not going to talk about it in 2 weeks' time, you know?
Right.
We see so many TLC matches. The amount of ladder matches in front of no one this year is crazy. And yeah, it's just another match, right? But I think the same with all the gimmick pay-per-views. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, the obvious connections or comparisons would be Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber. No, not Elimination. What's the... Actually, I don't mind Elimination Chamber in the same way that I don't mind Royal Rumble, because I feel like they at least are part of a narrative that builds to something greater, being WrestleMania. I believe Elimination Chamber is still in February.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's still that kind of... it's because it's the multi-man, isn't it? And it's usually to set up either who the champion's going to be or who the contender's going to be. It feels like sort of Royal Rumble Part 2, almost.
So those matches become the creative through which the wrestlers are kind of plugged into. And I guess you could say the same about these TLC matches in Hell in a Cell. But yeah, maybe it is that when you have a one-on-one feud, ultimately you would want to save these for the conclusion of the story you're trying to tell. Oftentimes it just feels shoehorned, especially if there's not enough heat in the build at that point. And then obviously if you're going to get 2 or 3 every single show, then diminishing returns with each one.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just had, I believe, the 20th anniversary of the 6-man Hell in a Cell from Armageddon. And I remember the excitement when Mick Foley announced that match. I was just like, wow, that's going to be nuts. Whereas I always go back 2 years in a row, you had CM Punk versus Ryback. Ryback had no right to ever be in a Hell in a Cell match, you know? And it was just, that's the feud, what's going on at the time. I feel Sasha and Bayley deserve to have a Hell in a Cell match, but it's almost, you predict it because you see it's coming up in October, whereas if this feud's been going on, which it has for months and months and months, and suddenly someone calls Hell in a Cell, you're like, wow, okay, that's the blow-off I want. And I think that's why I was calling it for so long with Gargano and Ciampa, because that felt like a feud that warranted that final big match. But unfortunate circumstances, kind of, that whole thing just fizzled.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre should not be having their first match in a TLC match.
No.
That doesn't make any sense at all, like, for them to even do that.
Like, I want to see these guys have a wrestling match, you know? They're both great.
But I'm curious about the fans or potential fans that don't pay as much attention in the ways that we do. Does the gimmick actually create more interest and perhaps sell subscriptions? I don't know.
I think to a certain extent. Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say, it's more like the pay-per-view, like, name itself. Like, nobody's talking about the actual match itself being a TLC. It's the fact that it's TLC being presented by WWE, which will sell the pay-per-view, but nobody's thinking about, like, AJ and Drew being in a TLC match. It hasn't had that built-up history to, like, maintain that type of match at all, to me.
I think there's the balance between maybe more of that short-sighted approach versus long-term, and obviously long-term would be telling really compelling, consistent stories over time. But if I had some friends over here today that typically don't watch wrestling, and I said, yo, this shit's gonna be cool, there's like ladders that they gotta climb to retrieve a belt, and they can use tables and chairs and shit like that, that would probably make some people I know more interested in checking it out. I just don't know how many of those people there are. And once you get them hooked, again, if you're not telling long-term compelling stories, I don't think they're going to stick around. It's junk food, if not.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. You might get like the casuals or non-fans go, oh, TLC or Hell in a Cell. Yeah, just like you have The Rock advertise for Raw, you know you're going to pop a rating a bit. But I think especially with wrestling, there's so much love for nostalgia that I think you're at the point now where if you were to announce an Armageddon or a Vengeance or something like that, people would kind of pop because, hey, I remember those pay-per-views 20 years ago or whatever, and I think you could start to revert back to those kind of things, a Bad Blood and things like that.
I don't know. I think I'd push back against that, Davey. I don't know if there's much like cultural currency we could say for Armageddon just as the name of a pay-per-view.
Oh, he set himself up.
What about you, John?
Run that by me again. I'm sorry. What was the question?
We were just saying about like moving away from the gimmick pay-per-views and whether there's enough kind of nostalgia and reverence for some of those old pay-per-view names like your Armageddons or your No Mercies or things like that you could start to bring them back, and fans from kind of yesteryear might get a little bit of a pop of nostalgia.
I'm definitely like okay with them bringing those back. I feel like Hell in a Cell and TLC, for example, they're just doing the pay-per-view just to do it. Like, there's no reason behind these matches at all. Like, there's no built-up feud between AJ and Drew to do a TLC match or a Hell in a Cell match. So I feel like with No Mercy and Armageddon, they're bringing back, like you said, nostalgia pay-per-view names that I think would bring back a lot of fans for sure.
If you're looking for a lapsed fan, Davey, I would maybe argue No Mercy may be more effective because of people's connection with the video game.
Yeah, I'd go along with you there. I mean, for me, I go back to that 6-man Hell in a Cell. I think Armageddon could maybe get that kind of thing, especially if you were to announce a Hell in a Cell for that. But I mean, it always surprises me that King of the Ring is no longer a thing, or whenever they do it, it's just a comedy gimmick. I think when they did it with Brock winning to then challenge at SummerSlam, just like you have the Rumble set up for Mania, I think it makes it so easy to book your TV for a month. You know, like start 32 or even 64-man tournament that you do over 4 weeks to get to the semis and the final at King of the Ring pay-per-view. I don't understand why they don't do that. And even when they do a tournament, they kind of just rush it in a week.
No, you're absolutely right. Like even like New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, MLW have all done tournaments during this whole lockdown quarantine era, and I feel like those have been really well received. So WWE can definitely benefit from doing King of the Ring, and I feel like King Corbin's been definitely over a year. He's been king, right? I know Xavier Woods has been pushing being king ever since being on his like New Day solo act and G4 act. He's been pushing to become the King of the Ring. So that's a whole story right then and there that they can definitely push onto TV. And like it's the King of the Ring 64 30-man tournament could definitely be something they can keep watchers coming in to watch.
And one of the reasons why I like tournaments so much in pro wrestling is because every match actually has fucking stakes. There's a point and meaning in investing in watching each match, even if there may not be much backstory or narrative between the two people in the ring at any given time. The stakes are very clear, and the bigger the tournament, the longer you can tell a specific story. Back to my earlier point, if you can tell compelling stories over time with consistency, I think that's how you get people to not only hop on board, but perhaps stick around and see what's next. With Ring of Honor, I think a big, I think there was a huge bridge that they had to cross at the end of that pure title tournament. A lot of people were invested in that, but then what's the follow-up? What's the bridge to get people on board with however they want to continue telling stories, whether that's through the brand of Ring of Honor, and the pure title tournament essentially was the brand or the theme of the weekly TV show, or if you just splinter off and now here's the 3 to 6 major feuds that we're gonna tell over the next pay-per-view cycle.
Completely, I completely agree. It's long-term planning, and I think that's maybe also why WWE doesn't go to tournaments, because they don't have any long-term. And you can see round 2 or 3 into a tournament and Vince suddenly changes his mind on a guy and wants someone else, and the whole tournament's out the window, you know?
And look, in defense of those constructing and producing these events, it is a hard fucking job, especially for a company like WWE that have multiple hours every single week, and so many factors and variables outside of their control, whether it's injuries or especially this year with positive cases and things like that. So I've seen that happen within Ring of Honor, where there's one injury or something happens, and then it's a house of cards almost, and then you have to kind of put the puzzle back together. And sometimes TV's already produced, and sometimes we've already been promoting shows for matches for an upcoming event, and then it's like one thread undoes the whole sweater, and it can be difficult. But there's still no excuse to not try to ultimately respect the audience by committing and investing their time and energy with the product.
I completely agree, but I think as fans, it's the nature of it's a combat sport, you know. I think injuries are expected to happen at times, and to just not even bother in case that happens just seems ridiculous to me. I mean, you look at New Japan right now, And like it or not, it looks very much like Jay White, his whole story arc over the last 2 or so years, is what Kenny was going to have. I don't think that's any big secret, and you look to it now leading up to this year's Wrestle Kingdom, and likely that main event of night 2 is going to be Jay White Ibushi. It looks like Kenny fucked off and they just went, all right, well, we'll give it to this guy. And I think that's kind of what you need to do with injuries. And they've been known to change plans on the fly. Like, Daivari said in an interview recently about how the plan was going to be KO Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania a couple of years ago in New York. And just after Kofi, took steam, they just switched it on the fly. But there's at least a plan there.
So, Davey, you and I were together when Jay White was in that top position at Madison Square Garden. Do you feel like he owned the moment that night?
I think at the time MSG was too big for him. I didn't think it was a bad match, but I think it was enough of a moment for the fans to have, Okada just winning the title in MSG. I think that was enough of a thing. I think Okada Omega would have obviously been a lot bigger. Yeah. But what was the other option? You're not having Omega. I'm glad that they've just committed and gone all in rather than going half-assed with a lot of people. They're committed to Jay White, and at least story-wise, it's logical and it's not insulting me. Whether I'm Jay White's biggest fan or not, that's beside the point. What do you think?
I agree. It was the Okada show.
Yeah.
I think, look, I was watching the Ravens game. I live in Baltimore earlier today. And for the most of the fourth quarter, at least the last half of the fourth quarter, they had a backup quarterback who had never taken a snap in an NFL game with the Ravens before. And it was 4th and 20. And they said, just let him take another snap instead of kicking the field goal. They had enough points. They didn't need the extra 3. And I think what was smart about that was giving that quarterback one extra rep in the NFL to feel what it's like to get the ball snapped to him and have 300-pound men coming for his neck. And I think that's what Jay White experienced that night in MSG. He wasn't ready for it. He wasn't planned for it. But that rep to headline a live pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden, which is sold out, how many of those can you get? Most will never get even close to that. So I take that as investing in Jay White long-term by giving him that opportunity. And I don't think he disappointed. But I also don't think there was much he could have done I don't know if there was more he could have done, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. I think people were going to be disappointed anyway, and at least it gives the character of Jay White. He's used it. I sold out MSG. I headlined MSG and sold it out. Whereas, what, do you just go to the well and do Naito Okada instead? And it's that's cool. And maybe North American fans would be maybe more into that. But who does it serve, really? No one.
And remind me, that night it was Naito and Tanahashi?
Naito Ibushi. And you had Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr.
Huh, that was a hell of a card, wasn't it?
That was a good card. And you had Matt Taven with the ROH title.
And Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass? Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened with that? Enzo and Cass showed up at ROH and they got so much bad reaction that they never came back.
No, but I'm also not going to share the private conversation I had about them the next day in the office. But yeah, I honestly don't know what to say about that. But I was puzzled by the creative.
So a couple people in the chat room are liking the chair spot that AJ had earlier on with Drew McIntyre putting his legs in, I guess.
Yeah, the leg work's been pretty good here.
Yeah.
Especially for a ladder match, it makes sense. How's Drew going to climb the ladder without his legs? We just had AJ hit the phenomenal forearm as well.
A couple people were asking about the Kenny Omega Talk is Jericho podcast. I know Davey, you were telling me a little bit about it.
I listened
earlier.
to it yesterday. I thought it was fantastic. It was kind of
Kayfabe-ish, right?
It was kind of kayfabe, kind of like true story, but Kenny kind of. I mean, all three of them have a very, very high opinion of themselves, and it was pretty entertaining. I think one of my favorite lines was Kenny says, like, people are waiting for the best bout machine, but like, I mean, I shouldn't be having 45 minutes every week on TV. I mean, you've seen our roster. Fucking hell. Jesus. AJ just got killed.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, AJ is dying. Oh, God.
that looked nasty. He went through the table, but he seemed to overshoot it.
Yeah.
Let's
So
watch
Davey,
this.
are you taking notes for this post show?
I've got some, yeah. Oh, come first.
Like I'm watching myself not even watch the pay-per-view because I'm trying to engage with you guys.
Hey,
I
man,
don't know how you do all this.
Don't.
AJ didn't even go through a table. He like fell on the floor and somehow the table was able to break in half, but he barely touched it.
He hit it with his bum.
Oh!
And Jordan,
Oh!
don't worry about it.
The Miz.
No, I appreciate it, Davey. I'm just more, I think, interested in chatting with you guys than watching this, to be honest.
Absolutely, no worries.
So realistically, the Miz can attack Drew McIntyre and then cash in, right? He can do whatever he wants because it's a TLC match.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
I called it.
His name is Davey Portman, people. He's the reason we're all here.
Wait, they're turning it to a triple threat match. Okay.
Yeah. Why would you climb that slowly? Fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Hate
just
wrestling
fucking
sometimes.
run up the ladder, like, at this point. Why are you taking your time?
Yeah, Big Jordan. Big Jordan.
Big Jordan, Owens, Goodman.
Jordan Beatman.
Jordan Beatman. Oh, Rockabye Baby. I like Jordan, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, is
The little that he does.
Morrison's gonna climb and grab it.
Oh!
Jeez.
I've never seen someone put through a table like that. That was amazing, actually.
Just dumped like a child.
He just fell, yeah.
And that gimmick
Wow.
chair is cool too.
Yeah,
That's
the
pretty
chair
good.
just broke on his back. That's innovative. He didn't even flinch. Andrew McDonald in the chat says that stuff like this would really get over with a crowd. I agree.
I
The
agree.
Miz falling through the table and then almost taking that chair shot that didn't even affect him. Great.
And we were talking about, maybe Fairweather fans earlier. This Omos guy, he's fucking money. You know, you always hear that you want to look for guys that when they're walking through an airport, they'll turn a head and there's an aura that they feel like a star.
Absolutely.
This guy is that. Like
Oh,
10 out of
100%.
fucking 10.
He's huge.
So if he can go in the ring and they continue protecting him like I'm sure they will, this guy could be a top player for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, Sino, have you seen any of his work at all? There's not much of it out there, is there?
As far as I know, I've never seen almost in an actual match. He's always been like on Raw Underground. He's done house shows for NXT, but never anything televised that I can actually review. I've never seen him in a match.
Do you know how old he is?
He's got to be like in his late 20s, I want to say. Like, he can't be that old, I would think.
Okay, so he's got time.
B Detroit thinks it's the turtleneck that will make him stand out in an airport. I'm not slim enough to my body type just doesn't work with turtlenecks. Jordan, I'm sure you could rock a turtleneck.
I actually, Scorpio Sky once complimented my turtleneck in the ECW arena.
Nice. I wore a
That man has
turtleneck
great
once to
taste.
my old job, and the same day, one of the girls in the office was wearing pretty much the same turtleneck, and I've never worn a turtleneck since.
So we have The Miz and AJ climbing the ladder. The Miz is still in play, almost, and Morrison headed to the back.
I think I saw Kirby in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Kirby, like the video game character Kirby.
Yeah, that pink bulbous thing.
Oh,
Really?
and Miz is there. Miz is there, back in the ring.
Yep,
So, Davey, it
there's the
seems
Miz.
like you. Yeah, Dave, you may be like 5 seconds ahead of me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll
you
delay
good?
my reaction.
You good? But I'd also imagine that we're probably a good 30 seconds ahead of everyone in the Twitch stream.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Andrew in the chat room says Kirby as Sephiroth looks badass. That's a Super Smash Brothers reference. Thank you, Andrew.
Go on.
AJ's off.
Oh. Oh.
I want to see a Claymore up top of the ladder. Is that possible? Oof.
Oh. Oh.
Man, this really ended up becoming a Miz match as well.
Yeah. So this
on.
counts as his like briefcase cash-in, right? Like,
Yeah, I'd imagine
It
so.
is, yeah,
Why else would he be competing in the match?
Oh yeah, he cashed in.
okay.
He
So
officially
okay.
cashed in. Oh, AJ
Oh, shit.
busted as
Oh.
well.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Here we go. Oh. Claymore. Yep. Claymore to the nose.
I always get anxiety when the ladder's like not central under the belt.
Right.
All right.
There we go.
What did
Okay.
we think, guys? I thought that end
was great.
really exciting, actually, with all having their like hope spots getting the title. I found that really entertaining, and I liked the work during the match on Drew's knee. Jordan, what did you think of that?
Even you noticing the work on the knee, I picked up on none of the nuance or subtleties. I kind of got a bit into it once Miz joined, and even though I wasn't watching like move to move, I did feel a natural build and momentum and ultimate climax to the match. I liked it. I think if I just sat with you guys or myself and watched it a bit more intently, I think I would give it 1 cowbell. 1 out of 1 cowbell.
1 out of 1 cowbell. How many cowbells for you, Sino?
You said 1 out of 1 cowbells, Jordan? So
Out of 1, how
of
many would
1.
you give it?
So I agree, 1 out of 1. It was a good match, but when the Miz got involved, it definitely got a little bit more interesting. His cable bump was really good. I'm looking back at the AJ Styles cable bump, which was pretty crazy. The fact that he barely hit it and went through it. Owens' involvement was not major, but it still played into the match itself. And yeah, Drew won. The right man won for the match. And we finally get to see the end of the Miz's Money in the Bank cash-in, which I feel like has been going on forever. I feel like Money in the Bank has been going on for over a year, even though it just happened back in, April, May. I feel like it's been going on forever, so I'm happy that the Money in the Bank suspense at least has ended for the night, or for the year.
You know, it's interesting that you said that about Omos, because I felt like, when I think about this match tomorrow or next week or 6 months from now, he's the one I'm going to think about. To me, this was that, and again, I haven't watched the past few weeks of TV, but to me, this was that first major step since being introduced as AJ second.
Going to the Twitch room, we've got Rasputin saying main event delivery, no mistakes, solid match and great storyline build up. Fire Frank thinks it was a good open to the show, no complaints. Andrew says Spider Brett there by AJ when he hopped onto the ladder. Kendall says that was good. I was hoping for that cash in. There's no sense in Miz being a lame duck Money in the Bank holder with the current champions. Lubowski says, Miz wasn't needed, but added more spice, and he didn't get embarrassed. Chris Leone enjoyed the match. Feels like it's been forever since we've had a good cash-in, though. Yeah, let's talk a bit about that. Sino, you kind of said it. It feels like this Money in the Bank's been hanging around for forever. Definitely, probably the least interesting year with Money in the Bank, with the women's obviously actually being the title and just being handed right to Asuka, and a failed cash-in. But on the flip side, I think it makes it more exciting when you get a cash-in that actually works. I think for so long we were having just cash-in after cash-in. Jordan, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, as a fellow Jew, I'm kind of focused on Paul Heyman right now.
Fair enough.
I think that it was weird because like Otis definitely had this push when he got the Money in the Bank match, and everybody's like Otis, 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 and then he kind of just like lingered in nothing, and then he dropped it to Miz like on a random episode of SmackDown, and the Miz kind of hanged around with it for a while, teasing it, and he finally cashed it in. It was very like one of the most uneventful, I guess, Money in the Bank reigns. I guess you can say it didn't really result in anything. It wasn't even like a top match. It was something like presented in the middle of an opener for a pay-per-view, a B pay-per-view in December. It was a little bit underwhelming, but I'm happy that at least it kind of stopped and we can reset next.
It was underwhelming, but I think it kind of did make sense with the story they've been telling for the last month with Miz and AJ.
So Jordan, from one Jew to another Jew, how are you accepting to the Paul Heyman's current run with Roman Reigns? How do you feel have you watched much of his like presentation? Even I think on Talking Smack he's done a lot more representation for Roman Reigns, but how do you feel that Paul Heyman has been with Roman Reigns? How his presentation of him?
I absolutely love it. I love that it's different than Brock Lesnar in that he being Paul Heyman as the character knows that he is just there to be in support of Roman Reigns and perhaps not an advocate for Roman Reigns.
He makes it known that he's not an advocate. He's just a representative. Yeah.
And so I love that there's that distinct difference in the dynamic between him and the wrestler that he's paired with. I love Paul Heyman. I think Paul Heyman is all time in many aspects. But what he was doing with Brock Lesnar, it was stale. He was kind of doing the same shtick over and over. This feels fresh. I'm interested to ask you guys, would you rather Paul Heyman be doing what he's doing now with Roman Reigns, or would you rather have had him stay in that role on Raw, kind of executive producing and seeing out some of the visions, perhaps with an Aleister Black or a Zelina Vega, and the ways that he seemed to be building for the future? And I'd put Street Profits in there as well. But it seems like they've at least avoided the pitfalls that Aleister Black fell into with Paul Heyman being removed.
The problem is, I think whoever you put in that role, they're never given full control, so they can never fully see their plans through anyway. It's still going to go to that audience of one at the top. So this is really working. Roman Reigns is the hottest act right now. When Heyman was in charge, like, it was cool seeing focus on these people, but there was still a lot of problems with Monday Night Raw. So I think you've elevated Roman even more with the Heyman connection. So I think this is the right move.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm loving the connection with Roman and Heyman. If you would have told me years ago to pair them up, I probably would have been like, that's not going to fit at all. But something about it being in an empty arena without the fans just seems so correct for Roman and Heyman. Something about it just not getting that authentic fan reaction makes it feel a little bit more like real to me. I'm kind of happy because I feel like if it would have been in a real landscape of fans, the fans would have got behind Roman and it wouldn't really have worked out. So I'm really happy that like they kind of pipe in like the Roman sucks chants and things like that on SmackDown. It makes it feel a little bit more accurate to what the story they're trying to present. Obviously we're Jey Uso, but I'm loving Roman and Paul Heyman right now.
I agree with you there, actually. I think fans would have been cheering too much, whereas to let him have like a good 6+ months in this role before fans are coming back, it really solidifies him as a heel. I mean, because you've seen at times like Becky turns heel and the crowd just refuse it, and 2 weeks later she's a babyface again.
Yep.
So we're going to the SmackDown Women's title match. A returning Carmella challenging Sasha Banks. I think this could surprise. I think Carmella's actually improved quite a bit. Hated that they already kind of gave the match the other week with the stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna
finish.
say that. Like that didn't make any sense, especially with this match having 0 stipulations. Right? There's no stipulations at all in this match. So it kind of makes no sense that they had the match already on SmackDown and kind of went right back to a regular one-on-one match now.
I mean, I'm going to say Sasha to win here. I think she's going to have a lengthy run right until WrestleMania. But, Jordan, have you been following this at all? We were talking about Big Cass and Enzo Amore earlier. What are your thoughts on Carmella?
I like her. I have not been following this. I saw they had a split screen promo maybe 2 SmackDowns ago. I flipped it on. I gave about 30 seconds of my attention to that and turned it off. It was not compelling. But I like her. I don't remember a Carmella match. I remember she won Money in the Bank. But her as an in-ring performer, if we're just talking about the moves, I don't know. I can't give an accurate assessment. I don't remember her having much work rate in the past. But as far as being able to communicate as a character, communicate verbally, communicate body language, I think she deserves to be in the WWE and perhaps in a title match tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I'd put her in maybe the same kind of role as Alexa Bliss, someone who I think her character work and promo work is stronger than her ring work, but I don't think her ring work is terrible. So you put her against someone like a Sasha Banks, who, in my opinion, is one of the best women in the whole company. I think they could put on something pretty good. What about you, Sino?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sorry, I'm a little distracted by Carmella's entrance. It's pretty cool. It gives me like Kenny Omega vibes with the whole like silhouette screen in the background. Pretty different, but I feel like, I don't know, Carmella hasn't really deviated from much from her past persona. She was like what, a Staten Island princess, and now she's more like bougie, I guess as they say. I feel like they can have a good match. Like Carmella hasn't really been able to show her full capability in wrestling, but I feel like with the opponent like Sasha, she could definitely show off her full potential.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm hoping for something pretty good here. Let's go to the Twitch room and see what they think. Hogan brings up Carmella beating Charlotte 2 days after Charlotte beat Asuka's streak was iconic. Yes, I was at that cash-in. I think Mike Chioda's the star of that cash-in. If you go back and watch that, he's just like, do what? What do you want me to do with this briefcase?
I remember
that. Kendall thinks she's solid and not as overexposed as Alexa Bliss is. People are asking when is deadline to submit the shortlist for match of the year for upNXT.
Monday night, right?
It's the end of tonight. Yeah, I'm going to be totaling them all up tomorrow morning. So you got until I wake up and have my coffee, pretty much. Yes, Hogan, we were sat together. That was the same SmackDown where that guy fell asleep and everyone started chanting for security to check on him because we thought he might be dead.
What's the over and under that Sasha Banks is going to hit a tornado DDT in this match?
Oh, they don't want any reference to the Mandalorian on this, do they?
I'm so, like, confused about that. They don't reference Mandalorian at all. They have, like, literally one of their biggest stars on one of the biggest shows out right now, and there's zero mention of it whatsoever. Just totally amazes me.
Jordan, were you following the Mandalorian at all?
Take a guess, Davey.
No.
Correct.
Okay.
But do they do any business with Disney?
No.
But I guess they have done some stuff with ESPN.
Well, they're on Fox. I think is like the main issue was like with SmackDown in particular that they're on Fox, so that's like one of the main competitors of NBC. And I don't know, it's just weird.
But
the fact that they don't really
haven't
reference them at
Fox
all.
and Disney made a deal? you've got Fox stuff on Disney.
That's for Fox movies, though, right? Like, I feel like the TV aspect of it isn't involved at all. I could be wrong about that.
Disney essentially purchased from Fox most of their entertainment properties, but not sports, not news.
Not the TV aspect, right? Like, that's separate?
Correct. I mean, they bought their cable like FX, FXX.
Okay.
I wonder how much is we don't want to promote this because we don't want to leave in us.
Well, look, it's competing interests, as we mentioned with NBC Universal and Fox being Disney. But also, perhaps if Sasha did this deal outside of WWE, they don't want to empower other talent to be doing that.
She did, right? She got discovered on the Hot Ones
Yeah.
show. Yep.
Now, if you noticed with Xavier Woods getting this G4 deal, G4 is, I believe, part of NBC Universal, so there's the natural synergy there. But with the up, down, down, and the other things he's done, he's been leading with his name, Austin Creed.
Yep.
The initial promo that I saw for him as a host on G4, it kind of presented it as Austin Creed as Xavier Woods.
Yep.
So to me, that means WWE has some slice of the pie. And of course, they're going to make good on their investment. I was actually having a chat with Wei a couple weeks ago about this. And this is kind of maybe part of the fallout with the Twitch and the Cameo changes that they've made. I really think WWE is going to start. That was a hell of a catch, a lucky catch. I think WWE is going to.
Oh,
sure.
Tommy. Yeah. Sorry.
I think WWE is going to start being more of a booking agent of sorts, and their talent aren't necessarily just going to be TV pro wrestlers, but they're going to be, licensed IP that they can then put in TV shows or doing cameos or things like that. And I think WWE will start feeling more like a booking agency than maybe they ever had before.
Sorry, guys, that was just my Uber Eats calling me.
It's okay. Yeah, we saw Tommy here, the assistant of Carmella, catching Carmella on the outside here. Former WWE PC talent. I know he was on Circuit du Soleil, I want to say. He was like one of the performers on there. And he's kind of been used as just the role for Carmella's assistant.
The sommelier, right?
Somalia, there we go. That's the word I was looking for.
His name's Tommy, did you say?
Tommy, yeah, they've been calling him Tommy for some reason, but
All right.
yeah.
I see Andrew in the comments. I agree with the comment about AEW providing more freedom. And there's plenty of benefits to that, and I think you're going to attract certain talent because of that. But look, I understand the WWE model where they are way more than a pro wrestling company. And AEW, I think, sees itself as an entertainment property. I'm really interested to see this Scorpio Sky podcast project that they just announced, and I think that's an interesting way to do something similar. But WWE wants to be Disney, and very much feels like Disney, where their talent are their talent.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. But I have they just moved on from kind of, I don't know, wanting stars? I know that sounds just so silly, but is it just now a conveyor belt of people, and they think that they can just slide anyone into these roles?
Do you mean kind of that idea that you'll never see another Cena, and that a Roman Reigns or a Charlotte Flair is basically the highest heights that you could reach as a performer?
Yeah, like I just think, like, I couldn't imagine 10, 20 years ago someone would be in something like Mandalorian and you wouldn't mention it at all. Like, I would see them wanting to have people elevated to that Hollywood level.
Agreed. That's always been the goal, but then I think there becomes this balance of leverage. So the more that Sasha, or whatever her, shoot name is, the more that she can build her career outside of WWE, obviously the more leverage she has. So I think they're always trying to balance that.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to both, because, I mean, I wonder, would they have got the deal with Fox they did had they not had Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar, who both essentially left after the deal happened?
That timing was very strategic.
Yeah.
Whereas if, like, say Sasha made some more stuff, come the next, like, contract negotiations, TV rights, that kind of thing, and you go, hey, we've got Sasha Banks, that could be something to drive up your rights. But as you said, it's also you don't want it to be too big where she can use that for leverage and try and fuck off.
Look, I mean, you kind of bet the whole farm on Hulk Hogan, and you see what can happen.
Yeah.
So now this is decades of hindsight with multiple stars. Stone Cold Steve Austin was willing to walk away.
Yeah. And that was at a time where there was nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and same with Brock Lesnar. He left too.
That's true.
And they put everything behind him.
What Sasha with the Three Amigos and Frog Splash. Did you know her favorite wrestler is Eddie Guerrero?
Do you know that JR thinks that every wrestler in AEW's favorite wrestler is Eddie Guerrero? And Edge, that's Griff Garrison.
One of the things I'm keeping my eye on, to go back to the prior conversation, I haven't seen anyone else really having this conversation. If you're familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, he, among many businesses, is a sports agent. And the agency's gotten to UFC more recently, but I think has been dealing with NFL players, perhaps baseball players, for a bit longer. Charlotte Flair is now represented by that agency.
I saw that, yeah.
And so I'm going to be really interested, someone like him, who is an innovator within culture and communications more generally, and is a legit pro wrestling fan. I'm going to be curious to see how Charlotte starts interacting with WWE based on her representation.
That would be very interesting, especially that. I mean, she's had a lot of time off recently as well. Sorry, Sino, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, like, there hasn't been any, like, reasoning or explanation for Charlotte being off of TV as far as I know, right? They haven't said anything at all about the reason why she's gone. Her and Andrade have both been off TV since the draft or even before then. But interesting that there hasn't been any, like, mention of her at all. I feel like even tonight we have Asuka with her mystery partner. That could be one of the possibilities. Could be a Charlotte. But it's interesting that they haven't brought her back since.
Did she have surgery again?
Possible. I haven't heard anything specifically, but wouldn't surprise me.
That tilt-a-whirl into the X Factor looked awesome, I thought.
Has this been a good match? I've not been paying attention.
I'm kind of into it. Oh,
that's good.
Carmella's definitely got more, like, aggressive side to her now, which I'm into, and especially with Sasha's selling. Yeah, it's working for me.
There's definitely chat in the chat room about Charlotte having some surgery done, I guess some fixing,
right,
as they can say. So it could be one of the reasons why she hasn't been on TV.
Is Braden watching Doogie Howser at work right now, Davey?
Probably.
Yo, did you end up watching all the Final Battle?
I missed the main event, but I was like in and out of it, but I watched the Flip Gordon Jonathan Gresham match, which I really, really enjoyed.
That was a really good match, yeah.
I did not see that. I saw a bit of the undercard, you could say.
Jordan, how do you feel about, I'm pretty sure you saw the Danhausen match. How do you feel about Danhausen being in this Ring of Honor environment?
So I was watching, but kind of like this, half paying attention. I like him. Obviously, a crowd is, I think, key to his presentation. But and look, I do believe in the philosophy of wrestling's a buffet, and you got to give a little bit of. It can't all feel the same. Now I understand that maybe the Kingdom creative, that was a bit different than some of the pure style, and from what I've heard you talk about, the main event was certainly different than the pure title match.
Yep.
But look, I like creativity. I like absurdity, and he checks those. He checks those off for me.
The chat room has said that I guess Carmella's assistant Tommy, as we call it, is go by Reginald. I saw that in the chat room. So looks like they're calling him Reginald. And as Mike Hogan would say, make sure you guys spread us on Twitter, social media, twitch.tv/upNXT podcast. For anybody that's watching or not watching, join in the fun as we react to the Tables Attitude Cheers 2020 pay-per-view event.
That was a great sequence just then. All the pin exchanges and the submission counters. I'm really enjoying this. This is great.
And I'm happy for you, Davey.
Yeah, the chat room's agreeing. Eric Marcotte is saying he's enjoying this match so far. And as we know, Eric never watches the shows. So the fact that he's watching it and enjoying it, that's saying a lot. SB Rar 86 saying Carmella is good. Hogan Bay saying they're trying to really get Carmella over here. So a lot of good positive feedback on this match so far.
What's Sasha doing? Oh!
There's Reginald getting involved. Oh, all right.
Oh.
Ooh! Reginald just got knees to the face. Oof.
Oh.
I really thought that Carmella had it there.
Yeah.
Her super kicks right there really like sold me. There's been talk in the chat about Submission Underground. What is Submission Underground? Is that some USC thing that I missed? Or, I don't know, I keep hearing about Submission Underground tonight. Maybe Eric Marcotte or Brandon from New Jersey can tell me exactly what that is. Oof. Thanks, name in the middle of the ring.
I'm just gonna go and pick up my Uber from outside, but guys, like, go through that match. What you thought, what you liked, what you didn't. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan,
this is on you, but this is on you, man.
It was a really good match. I mean, Carmella, like, she's not really well known for having like great matches, but Sasha really brought the best out of her. I mean, wow, a lot of good just sequences in the match, and just got to a point where I thought Carmella might even have won the match with the double super kicks at the end and the help from Reginald getting involved at the end, breaking up the pinfall. But Sasha, another great match. Definitely.
Carmella feels like someone that is completely committed. So whatever her shortcomings as a professional wrestler may be, she seems to have the personality to be someone committed to improving them. And it seems like she's been putting in the work.
Sasha Banks, she took out a lot of people. I don't want to give Mandalorian spoilers away, but she's had a pretty good week this week.
Now, would you agree, John, that this felt like a definitive end to this feud for now?
No, I feel like it's just getting started. I feel like Carmella's just getting involved with the title picture and kind of rubbing Sasha the wrong way. I feel like this is the first match. There's probably many. I mean, I know they had a Smackdown match, but I feel like they could definitely have at least one more match to kind of end this feud. I feel like there's still a little bit more they can tell with the story.
Could you see that happen at the Rumble, or is that too big of a stage? Is this like maybe a Smackdown main event?
No, I can see how at the Rumble. I mean, it sucks. I really wanted Bianca Belair to get a push against Sasha, but she just kind of jobbed to Bayley this past SmackDown, so I'm not sure like what the reason for that was. But I would like to see a Sasha Bianca just one-off match, if anything. But maybe I could see I mean, Sasha's not gonna be in the Rumble, but I could definitely see Sasha and Carmella have another run, and maybe on SmackDown.
Yeah, I could see them having another SmackDown match, but I don't really see who the opponent would be for the Rumble.
I see someone else rocking the random green painted fingernails.
Have you got that too?
Yeah, brother.
Oh, nice.
Ah, look at Jordan with the green fingernails. Nice. So Billie Kay's trying to give her headshot here at, I guess, audition to be part of Asuka's team, but not sure if that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure Billie Kay's on SmackDown, so I'm not sure if the regulation and rules would make her able to be part of Asuka's team.
But the tag titles are all brands, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Oh, poor Billie Kay. It's just gonna. Billie Kay and Peyton are just gonna get back together, right?
I mean, Billie Kay's been like having these random partners every week on SmackDown. She had Tamina, she had Natalya one week, and it just doesn't really make any sense. But it's like, why did you separate this? You have Peyton Royce kind of going through partners as well with Lacey Evans. It's just like, why did you not keep this team together? It's one of the only few female tag teams out there, and you're gonna separate them for no reason.
But that's how they are with real tag teams, full stop.
Yeah.
Like, you take apart the heavy machinery to do, like, what? To put Otis then with Chad Gable, who is also in a legit tag team, who you split up. Excuse me while I eat my tacos.
Look at those tacos. We have Chipotle live tacos.
Yeah.
The day before.
Is there meat in there, Davey?
There is not. Day 22, baby.
I was gonna say, how many days have you gone? No meat, no alcohol, 10-mile walks.
Yep. 22.
22.
Damn, dude. How do you feel?
Good. I'm good. Yeah, like, more energy. Definitely lost weight. I was saying, like, I'm not particularly looking forward to Christmas this year, so it's kind of depriving myself of these things. Gives me something to enjoy over Christmas. I can have some meat.
There you go.
Have some alcohol.
MVP with the black suit and nice golden tie to go with the whole color scheme of the MVP Hurt Business here. I feel the chat room's saying that the Hurt Business has to win the titles tonight, right? I mean, they've been feuding back and forth for how long now? Like, it's time for the Hurt Business to win something.
Yeah, they really do. Because weren't they going after... They were going after Street Profits for a while, weren't they? Or no, it is Street Profits. I get confused who's...
When the Street Profits were on Raw, they were feuding with them. They went over to SmackDown.
That's right, yeah.
So they went ahead and transitioned to Xavier and Kofi.
Yo, I'm gonna make some pizza and look for someone that actually wears tap-out apparel. Excuse me.
Okay. So it looks like it's Cedric and Shelton from the Hurt Business fighting against Xavier and Kofi on the New Day. Chris Elliott says, do they use the Freebird rule for the Hurt Business? As far as I know, they do not. That's usually only when people win titles, I feel like. But it's been mostly Cedric and Shelton with MVP and Lashley doing their own single runs, it looks like.
I don't think they will if they win the title, because you've got Lashley as US champion, right?
Yep. He is, and I feel like he never defends that. I can't remember the last time he defended that title. It's sad. But...
These tacos are falling apart, but they're good. To be honest, I can't really notice there's no meat.
New Day, excuse me. I hope you're ready because on the other side of that curtain, Cedric Alexander.
Excuse me while I make a mess live on camera here, guys.
No, it's fine. The best part of Chipotle is making the mess. We have Charlie Caruso backstage with Xavier and Kofi Kingston. G4 TV host Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, must I say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see New Day really needing this, do they?
No, I don't
Just
think
another
so.
title reign for them.
I mean, we spoke about King of the Ring earlier, but this is the perfect opportunity to like break off Kofi and Xavier, and have Xavier do this maybe King of the Ring gimmick or some sort of tournament, and maybe Kofi can get some sort of comeback from his world title reign somehow. I don't know how,
You
but
could have a Kofi Lashley feud if you want to keep
yeah,
this story kind of going.
that's true. Shout out to Carly Caruso and her dress.
Oh, Charlie. Big fan of Charlie Caruso.
Cino, don't let me forget I got pizza in the oven, all right?
Yes, I will not forget. What kind of pizza did you get? Did you make it yourself? Did you get like home frozen pizza, or did you order it?
My cousin made it last night, so it's been in the
Ah.
fridge. Davey and I actually had a conversation about it earlier. There's
Deep
arugula and
conversation.
prosciutto, and I'm pulling the slices of Parmesan cheese off of it because that's fucking disgusting.
Prosciutto on pizza is bringing me back to when I lived in Italy, because that was like their go-to. Instead of like your average salami or pepperoni, you had prosciutto on pizza, and that
It's
was like
amazing.
the go-to. Yeah, that's one of the best things.
I like it.
Yep. I wish more places around here would do that. Actually, I might have to recommend that when I next time I order pizza to get prosciutto on it.
It just looks so fancy.
Yep.
Big Jordan living large in Baltimore, people. So this should be a great match, yes?
Should
Yeah,
be good.
I mean,
it's
They've
happened
wrestled
like every
every
single week.
Yeah, these two teams have wrestled every week for the past 2 months. So at this point, I think the Hurt Business have to win the titles.
Yeah. Like, this could be over already.
Yeah, like it's gonna end right then and there.
I would just prefer that the men's tag team title was like the women's. And just be multi-brand. You don't have a strong enough division either side. You seem to have two teams on each roster.
Nah, you're right about that. Like I can't. It took me a minute to even remember that the Street Profits were the champion on
On
SmackDown.
SmackDown, yeah. Because they
Yeah.
literally just traded titles.
Yeah.
That I did find to be disrespectful as a fan.
Yeah.
Trading titles. Yeah. That would have been the perfect opportunity, like Davey said, to just kind of have
To just unify
a match where you unify them exactly.
Because you can always do. I think when Brock would be champion and wouldn't be there, you'd headline pay-per-views with #1 contender matches. So I don't think it's an issue building up a division on SmackDown and have #1 contenders, and the rule of the tag champ is you have to defend Raw, then you defend SmackDown.
In the chat, Andrew's floating the idea of AEW asking if they could maybe use a second set or another set of tag titles. The division's deep enough, and obviously we're used to that with the singles competitors, but what do you guys think of that? I don't know if that would feel a bit watered down, or if perhaps it would elevate a few more teams to be fighting for something.
I personally think that they need to focus on their women's division first. The fact that they have the NWA Women's Champion on Dynamite and the AEW Champion on Dark. They need to focus on that first before they go to the tag team division, I think.
Agreed. And that best friends that brawl match with who was that? Santana Ortiz. That wasn't for titles, right?
No.
Yeah, so I think if you just have compelling rivalries and stories, you don't necessarily need more titles.
I agree.
And that goes for all of pro wrestling.
Yeah, and then you get out of a rivalry, and if you win that rivalry, that puts you in standing for a title shot.
Exactly. That's the point of rankings.
Yeah, I can't even tell you who the NWA champions are. I feel like it's maybe Eli Drake and James Storm. I could be wrong about that, but obviously NWA is not having any shows anymore with UWN shutting down. And
Yeah, I will say that this pandemic has really affected Nick Aldis's momentum that he's been building the past few years.
he needs to be on Dynamite. I feel like at this point, Nick Aldis definitely needs to be on there, like representing the NWA title and just himself in particular, and him and Kenny Omega. I mean, that's obviously something that people would want to see with Kenny collecting the titles, but I would like to see Aldis and Omega possibly having a fight soon.
Agreed. I guess it depends. Look, it's being at Ring of Honor, we obviously did a lot with New Japan and with CMLL, and then obviously NWA toward the end of my time there. That it's tricky. It's really tricky, and there's a lot that you got to give and take. But I don't know really what else NWA like has right now if they want to continue maintaining any sense of momentum that they've built over the past couple years.
Yeah, it's just a series of bad circumstances, wasn't there? You had speaking out stuff and COVID. It's just a shame. And as much as I think Nick Aldis being on Dynamite to defend that title is cool, it goes again. Like, you've got... That's going to take a slot away from some of your own talent once again. And what is it? Just to build up Kenny's collection? Kenny's made at this point. It's really that women's division is the part suffering with AEW.
Yeah. I feel like between Dark, like I saw the lineup for this coming up Tuesday night show, and they have a lot of like new talents coming in. I feel like they just keep bringing in new independent women's talent to kind of like see who they should bring in or sign. But I mean, they got Thunder Rosa. They got a couple other people that they can definitely like sign if they're capable of that could elevate the women's division. So it's tricky, but I think getting the title off of Shida is one thing they need to do because she's not really representing the brand. You ask most people, they might think that Serena Deeb is a champion because that's who they're seeing on TV nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just need to see... I think it's a lack of faith in her being able to carry segments because of, like, English being her, like, second language, you know? But you see with EO, just, you can do more creative things to make it work. It's not like Shida can't speak English at all. And I wonder if they were to give... I feel the title should maybe really be on Britt Baker by now already. And obviously she had that injury and stuff, but she's someone that you can have on TV weekly. And really at this point, this Thunder Rosa Britt Baker feud should just be for the title.
I mean, they've been hyping up Abaddon and Shida, but the match isn't like what gonna happen still with the pay-per-view. Like, it's not. They're not even like promoting it as far as I know, right? It could be on one of these like coming up specials, but they haven't really done anything else with Abaddon and Shida besides Shida running away from her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been weak.
The next pay-per-view is not till what? February?
Revolution's February, yeah. Rasputin thinks this has been a solid match so far. Your usual tag match dance. Hurt Business definitely needs this win to be legitimized. At least a strong ending. Andrew saying, that's what I hate about the IC and US title. They're lesser belts. The NWA World title doesn't have to be presented as a lesser belt. Yeah, but it goes back to my point. Like, why? Like, it's cool as a fan to see the NWA title defended, but realistically, why are we giving it that time? Why would we give the NWA title this time?
You're right.
When we've got our TNT title scene, our tag team, our women's scene. Like, it's cool. And, like, it's a favor, but, like, focus on your own talent.
I know Kendall was asking about Rio. She's still in Japan, correct? Like, she's one of the people affected by COVID, I would guess. She hasn't been seen since.
I imagine she's in Japan still, yeah. Oof. That was nice. Nice little sequence
Wow.
there.
They're going extra fast right now. Oof. It's crazy to think that like Cedric is one of the best wrestlers in WWE right now, and they're just not using him correctly. Like he was never used right in 205 Live or NXT, and now he's on Raw, and he's still not being used right. It's kind of sad.
I think this is the best they're using him though. He's being featured now, and he's shown the most personality he's ever shown being in this.
I give MVP credit for that. I think MVP also brought a lot out of Apollo Crews earlier this year, and I think Apollo, just like Cedric, I think the key thing holding them back was being able to express themselves in ways that felt compelling, but almost even more importantly, genuine or authentic.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Yeah, I think the Hurt Business has been a really like solid, I wouldn't say experiment, but you know, just it's worked. I think it's elevated everyone involved, and that's what a stable should do.
Absolutely.
But they do need to secure it with a win here. Oh! It was like a snap superplex.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, that.
Many years ago, I was at a Ring of Honor TV taping in Baltimore. One of the better hardcore matches I've ever seen was Cedric and Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Ring of Honor? Really?
Nope, there it is. Yeah, there's a TV taping match.
Oh! Sorry, I didn't. That was so random.
It was great.
I don't know why they did the dissension. Did you catch that? So Shelton was setting
Cedric
up
tagged
Kofi,
himself in, right? Yeah.
and Cedric tagged himself in. So their title reigns just started, and they're already teasing dissension.
Wow.
Okay.
Jose, you want to take a shot to new champions? Let's take a shot. All right. New tag team champions.
The Hurt Business, baby.
Hurt Business.
But perhaps the end game has always been for Cedric to turn again and become more elevated than when he joined.
Maybe. I thought that was pretty solid. Like, these guys turned it on. I mean, I think they always have pretty good matches. We've just seen it a bunch. I like the pace of that match. Just interesting finish with Cedric kind of taking the win there.
Usually,
what were your thoughts?
No, absolutely. Usually, like the spot where we see like the person tagging himself in ends up with them losing the match.
Yeah.
But it kind of happened with them. He literally, I'm looking at the replay now. He came in, hits the backbreaker on Kofi, gets the pin. Like, I did not expect that at all. So that's refreshing. I'm just happy this feud hopefully comes to some sort of ending because we've seen this combination so many times. I'm happy that 3 out of the 4 of the Hurt Business are champions right now. Hopefully they can move on and fight another tag team on Raw. I can't tell you off the top of my head who else tag teams they have available, but that's good to see new champions here.
Look at that. Look at that.
I really like and believe Cedric's fire in the celebration.
The white boy.
You liked his fire in the celebration?
I believed it, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like he's been in this company for a while now. And sure, he had a Cruiserweight title run, but this is probably his biggest moment, I'd say.
I'd agree, especially on a pay-per-view and being with the caliber of talent. Look, you could make it to the top, if you would call it that, of 205 Live, but really, what is that compared to the Raw or SmackDown roster?
It's your superstars, it's your main event title, you know? Or at least when he was the champ, it was. Like, this means more. Do we see MVP getting the 24/7 title now and have all
I was thinking about him having a title, but I can't see any title but 24/7. I'm happy that Shelton Benjamin has finally won a tag team title without Charlie Haas, because looking at his statistics here, he's only won with Charlie Haas. in both Ring of Honor and WWE. So it's going to have a new tag team champion partner here tonight.
So R-Truth is hosting the Slammies. What
Are you doing
the
a
other teams
watch-along
on
for that, Davey?
Sorry?
Are you doing a Slammy Awards watch-along Wednesday
At 10
morning?
a.m.? Possibly not. Not this time. Why? Are you interested?
No.
Let's go to the Twitch room. What have we thought of the show so far, and what did we make of that, the tag match? Got Kendall saying that WWE ruined Ricochet. He has a poor promo, and he hasn't fixed that, or the company hasn't invested in him being better. I put that kind of on him, a bit personally. He hasn't improved at all. So, I don't know. I know a lot of people think Ricochet is a missed opportunity, but what were we saying earlier about Carmella? She's a character you're kind of drawn with over the wrestling because she can sell a feud. Ricochet's had opportunities. Chris Elliott thinks it's been an entertaining show so far, nothing bad. Frank says he doesn't. He wrestled Monday though and quickly lost to Riddle. Rishi was expecting the tag title match to go longer. Finish seemingly came out of nowhere. Kendall thinks all the matches have delivered so far.
What do you guys think of Sami Zayn's haircut? I feel like he can totally run with it and embody it.
It's getting out of control. It kind of suits him.
Oh, there she is! There she is, little Miss Journalist. I bet you're so proud of yourself with a big scoop. I bet you're proud of leaking that audio of me about breaching my privacy and posting it all over your Instagram page, next to all those photos of your derriere by the pool. Have you no shame? Have you no intent? Hang on. Oh, Kayla, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of pressure right now. Just tell me who sent you the audio. We go way back. Just tell me who sent you the audio. I know it was Biggie. It was Biggie, right? Just tell me who did it. I'll deal with it myself. Just tell me who sent it. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of pressure.
Sorry, Sammy, but a journalist doesn't reveal their sources. Sorry.
Oh, well, you're gonna lecture me on ethics? You're gonna lecture me
Um,
on ethics?
sorry, we were kind of talking over that a bit. What was the leaked audio?
I think they did a Sami Zayn parody of Tom Cruise with him having some audio to kind of represent like the outbursts that Tom Cruise had on the set for Mission Impossible 7.
I like it.
I like it too. One of the few times that they're able to respond immediately to pop culture, and I think in an entertaining way.
Not having a old school Saved by the Bell or Fresh Prince reference that they like to have in the year 2020.
I watched something a few weeks ago. I think it was actually Nia Jax, speaking of. I don't know if she made a TikTok reference. It was something it seemed incredibly scripted for her, and it didn't work. The Sami Zayn deal, whether it was his idea or not, I at least believed him in the performance.
Sorry, who was it that you said did a TikTok reference?
I think it was Nia Jax maybe a month ago. I felt it as a one-liner that was meant to wink to the audience, hey, we are part of pop culture. We can respond to pop culture, and it felt completely forced and fabricated.
Yeah, I mean that's WWE most of the time, and I don't rate Nia's delivery ability. But it depends. What they did just there was a parody, but so many of the times it's just hey, TikTok's a thing, and not making an actual comment on it, or it's just desperately. Again, hate to go back to the Sasha thing, but it's so weird. You'll try and connect to the wider world when you want to, but then when you're actually companies involved with it.
Question for the chat room: Who do you think is going to be Asuka's mystery partner? Is she going to have somebody big, somebody well known, or just nobody at all? What is your predictions for Asuka's tag team partner tonight? in my heart, I would love for it to be Kairi Sane, looking at Davey Portman's shot right now, but I know that's probably close to impossible with her being in the country of Japan right now. But I can dream, right?
I think it's either going to be Charlotte or no one, and Nia just comes out to help win.
We have people saying R-Truth, Lashley's sister, Becky Lynch, which I would hope not. She just had a kid like what a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I would hope Becky isn't ready, but Charlotte, I can see Charlotte possibly being one of the mystery partners.
So what is this match we're about to watch?
Women's tag.
Shayna and Nia for the defending the tag titles against Asuka and a mystery partner. Rasputin says that Jeff Cobb is going to be the tag team partner of Asuka, so I would love for that to happen.
I love Jeff Cobb.
Eve Torres, I'd be a fan of that.
Eve Torres, what about Eva Marie? Right, she's been like rumored to come back.
Melina.
It's probably just gonna be Lana, right? It's probably gonna be Lana just coming back from injury, saying she's okay. Me personally, I would love for it to be Layla L. She's somebody who's up there in my fan. Best wrestlers ever.
Could be the Cat. Remember her?
The Cat, yeah. Rasputin says Bertha Faye, but unfortunately Bertha Faye has passed. So rest in peace to Bertha Faye.
Alam Shalom.
I was a big fan of the Cat. Miss Kitty.
I still remember watching that pay-per-view live, and I couldn't believe that like she showed straight up nudity on a live WWE pay-per-view. It was like a mud match or something that she had, and I couldn't believe that.
I have a picture I took with her and Jerry Lawler in the middle of a wrestling ring in the gym of my high school 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hell of a night that was.
I'd like to see that.
I will go grab it once this match starts.
Oh, you've got it to hand. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was the time when Jerry Lawler, he had quit WWE, right? When they fired her, they fired the Cat. He went ahead and resigned from his role, and he eventually came back years later.
Yeah, and then like 3 months later, she broke up with him, and he came back.
Yeah.
Fucking Jerry.
Yeah, I would guess that it was sometime between 19 or maybe 2000 and 2001 or so.
Yeah, it was 2001, beginning.
That's when Paul Heyman became the color guy on Raw.
He did indeed. Called the best
before the
WrestleMania ever.
invasion, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I'm a little behind you guys, or behind Jordan at least. Okay. I guess she is back from surgery.
So they've been building up this Lana Nia story for a couple of months, and then Charlotte just texts going, "Hey, I'm ready to come back." So they go, "Lana, fuck off."
Can you blame him?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss Charlotte. We haven't seen her.
Yeah,
since,
it's time for her to come back and
yeah.
start the build to Mania, right?
It's been a while, yeah. I don't think she hasn't even been in the Thunderdome. I feel like she was around with the empty arena era before the Thunderdome.
Were you guys there at WrestleMania New Orleans, the most recent one?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the title match. Yes, Charlotte Asuka.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is maybe the direction they go for this year.
I remember that I was there live, and by the end I was just exhausted given just the amount that I did that week. But Charlotte Asuka was one of the more memorable matches of that night.
That match and Ronda Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Steph, I think.
Yeah, that did tell a good story. And I remember the opening match, maybe the Cruiserweight. It was Ali for sure, but maybe it was with Cedric.
It was, yeah. I think the first half of that Mania it was on course to be one of the best Manias. The first half of that show was fantastic, and then it kind of died a death. You had the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, which was fine, but kind of felt a little.
And that was Daniel Bryan's return.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
It kind of felt a bit flat. I think it peaked at the Ronda match. I just remember everyone being on their feet for the whole match. It just felt electric.
I would say it peaked with that child winning the tag title.
Yeah, there was that too. And then you had, what was it? Brock Roman
Lesnar.
again as the...
Brock Lesnar, yeah, Brock Roman. Yeah, and the crowd shit all over.
Yeah. But I loved the start of that pay-per-view. I thought it was great.
So you were there.
I was there, yeah.
Where were you staying?
Like, where was I sat or where was I living?
No. In the city, like hotel.
I was staying at a hostel, India House Hostel. Yeah, I've been to NOLA 3 times, and I've stayed there each time. It's pretty cool.
That's one of my favorite cities, and that was
too.
I've been to 4, I guess, WrestleMania weekends in different cities, and New Orleans by far was the most ideal for many reasons. But just the location, everything was so centrally located, really, except ROH's venue that weekend.
Yeah, apart from some of the indies, all the kind of WWE stuff is so easy. It's like really walkable. There's so much going on. Lots of great music, food, drinks.
Yeah,
if you're into like history and shit as well, like I think it's the perfect host city.
New Orleans, yeah.
I was kind of down when they announced LA because it's like New York. It's just too big. If anything, New York's easier because of the subway, whereas LA is just it's an effort to get around everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But I thought New Orleans is definitely the best city. I feel Nashville could be good. Like
I haven't been there, but agreed.
Their stadium isn't the newest, but you've got like a stadium and a hockey arena right by the downtown core.
One night in New Orleans, I ended up in some club with what felt like the entire WWE roster from like 2008.
Oh yeah.
Like the Carlito and Candice Michelle and Kelly and a dozen more people like that. Chris Masters.
You saw them in New Orleans?
One night at a nightclub. It was almost like probably like the opposite of like everyone that couldn't get into Wale Mania. It was just a bunch of the 2008 WWE roster, I would
nice.
say.
Was it like Kevin Nash shenanigans party that he does every year with former talent?
No, I don't think it was even an official thing. I think they just were a crew that rolled deep together that probably all had WrestleCon signings, and they that was where they ended up one night.
I've never been to Wale Mania, but I did have tickets to go this year, and obviously that didn't happen.
I had the invite to that New Orleans year, but I had too much work leading up to that Ring of Honor show.
I actually thought, like, looking on a map, Tampa didn't look like a bad host city. It looked pretty easy to get around. Like, the venues were very close. Even all the indie venues were super close to everything. So, might not be the most exciting city in the world, but I think wrestling fans, really, you just want to go to the shows with ease and have a few fun places to go on a night out. Tampa kind of seemed to tick those boxes.
Okay, I've flown out of the airport, but I've actually performed with my band 10 years ago in Tampa. But beyond that, I mean, I never spent time in the city.
Right.
We got a flat tire in the van that evening on Alligator Alley.
No.
4 a.m. Fun night.
It's always at night, right? Flat tire.
We got lucky too. I started the van up and we kept driving. We're going to South Florida from there, about another hour or so. And when I turned the van back on, it felt kind of weak. So we got to our destination probably around sunrise, and I was like, let me just see. After I turned it off, I started again. Battery was dead. So I literally had one more. To be stranded with a dead battery in the middle of Alligator Alley with no gas station or help for dozens and dozens of miles with swamp on each side would have been a fucking nightmare.
I remember being a kid and that happening in Greece. We were driving home late at night, like 1 a.m, something like that. And we went over a pothole and got a flat tire. And this is before we had like mobile phones or anything like that. And I mean, I was a kid, so I just went to sleep in the back. But my parents, I can imagine, just freaking out. Kind of middle of nowhere. We just came down this mountain and we get a flat tire.
Do they speak the language or no?
Little broken, but like it took a while to actually find anyone. Like my dad had to go walking to try and find a payphone that's like on the side of the street, and then try and communicate, not speaking Greek.
All right, I'm gonna grab this picture of the cat.
This match has 3 of the best NXT wrestlers like ever. Plus
And
Nia
Nia.
Jax.
There's Rick.
Woo! There he is.
Just to remind you that he's daddy.
I mean, it could be kind of disappointing for Charlotte and Asuka to lose this match, you would think, right? With their return.
I think this is how you set up their Mania match. I think they have a little run with the titles. And then you have them break up and you do the singles match again with Asuka trying to get a win back. I mean, they've had matches since then, haven't they? But
Yeah.
Asuka's more on a streak now.
Rasputin says in the chat room that Charlotte is going to turn on Asuka at the end. I can see that happening. Whether they win or lose, it can still happen. We have a moonsault. Oh, and didn't really hit him, but
These chips and dip are fantastic.
Chipotle chips and dip, yeah, for sure.
This match any good?
It's happening.
Yeah, it's too much Nia.
Well, this is happening. Here's me as a young child with Jerry Lawler and the cat.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
What title are you holding? Is that Jerry Lawler's title or?
This,
Put it up again.
perhaps this is one of the Maryland Championship Wrestling titles.
Amazing.
Okay. Wow.
Only on Twitch, people. Only on Twitch.
I was able to watch a little bit of your conversations with Strum, talking about your lifeguard days as a baby lifeguard. That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed genuinely interested in opening up a PWT store for me.
I saw that. I would definitely purchase a T-shirt with your lifeguard picture on it. That's for sure.
Well, that's more than a few that have committed to that. We may have to make that happen. We were also talking about Davey Portman's chest hair on Unnecessary Conversations.
My taco meat.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. Twitch.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Interesting. As Davey
Rick
suggested, this
cry?
could be the Asuka and Charlotte build-up for WrestleMania 37.
Poor Lana. Like, like I know she's not great, but like, what the fuck is this story?
And this is the first time that Charlotte has held the tag team title, right? She hasn't really, yeah.
So
First
she's
time
what, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, women's
tag title.
I
Grand
guess you
Slam,
could-
right? She's a Grand Slam champion now.
Women's, like, I mean Divas as well, I guess, because she won the Divas and
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, she's a Grand Slam. Interesting. Of course, bring Ric Flair's daughter back on her first match. She wins the title.
Was that a Corona, Jordan?
Yeah, man. 2020, baby.
Do you have the lime or no lime?
No lime. Snowstorm. It's been hard to get out of here.
Snowstorm in Baltimore.
Oh, Chris thinks
Couple days ago.
Asuka
Couple
versus
days
Charlotte
ago.
at the Rumble. Do you think that's too soon to do that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they could do like some sort of like competition storyline. Who's better?
I mean,
They can definitely.
or do you?
Speaking
do
of
you
2020.
do like, I mean, you could do it like Eddie Ray, I guess, have the competitive match, and then I see it building up for the. I feel that's a Mania match. No, Charlotte, Asuka. You can have them defend the titles.
Yo, sorry to interrupt. What are we watching right now?
It's Drew McIntyre fighting the year 2020. It looks like it's a little commercial spot they have as he gives the Claymore to 2020.
2020's got heat.
Yeah.
Chris Elliott makes a good point. It's a good excuse to get Charlotte on all the shows. And Chris Leone now wants to see Asuka and Charlotte defend on NXT.
That'd be great.
What would the team be in NXT? Who would you defend against?
Reina and Dakota?
Reina and Dakota?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. It would be cool to see... Oh, thank you for subscribing. It would be cool to see Charlotte and Reina, I think, face off. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if 2021 sucks, they're gonna be so pissed off.
Just be glad it was that kind of league and not the other, because ain't nobody trying to see that.
Big E, R-Truth, and Sami Zayn in the back right now.
I like Sammy's shirt.
I am the Intercontinental Champion.
Word touch. What they do. When you say the word separate.
That's deep.
Pretty clever, huh? You think you're pretty smart. I got news for you.
What's that Booyah ESPN shirt?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
So we were talking about, Disney/ESPN, their involvement with this company earlier.
Yeah, it says ESPN's cross something, but I'm not sure what that B logo is.
Like someone's signature, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you real soon. Keep playing. No. Keep it up. We'll see you soon. You know, when Sami
So
Zayn
this match is happening. Sami and Big E. I mean, I kind of don't want to see Big E in the IC title picture. Like,
Yeah,
push him
that's-
to the main event.
That's my thing as well. Like, I feel IC's below him. I don't feel that as being a push, really.
He's done that before. He's been IC champion before. It's like at this point. Oh, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. So we're getting the Inferno match as the main event. Interesting.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot
Wow.
we had that.
They're
I
saying
thought-
Stuart Scott in the comments.
Stuart Scott. Okay.
Walt's asking if we think there will be fans at Mania this week. Jordan, what do you think? Not this week, sorry, next year.
Have they announced that it's in Tampa or no?
Yeah, it's Tampa.
I think so.
Yep.
Then yeah, I do think there will be some fans there.
I think there will be too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's what if say its stadium holds 70,000. I could see maybe 8,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing enough for like football games, college football games with fans in the stands. It's they're gonna do it, especially in Florida. They have no reason not to do it. They're allowed to do it, so why not?
Well, they got plenty of reason not to do it, John.
Yeah, of course, but seeing everybody else do it, they're still only gonna give them enough reasons to try.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
And hopefully April will look a lot different than January.
I would hope so. Yeah. Kevin Owens has been amazing in this storyline with Roman Reigns.
Hogan's saying the Inferno match is about to ruin everyone's match of the year bracket. Which is a perfect segue to remind everyone to get in your votes for match of the year. I want to hear your top 10 matches based on the shortlist. You can find that either on the Patreon, patreon.com/upNXT, or go on the Facebook group, upNXT Podcast. It's all on there, and you can just message us on Facebook to give us your top 10. Sino, I've seen you voted already.
Yep.
Jordan, am I going to have your votes?
This is for match of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just give my one match of the year?
You can give your top 10 based on a short list I'll provide you.
Oh, you provide the list and then I pick my favorite.
There's a short list of 25 and you can pick your top 10.
All right, send it to me.
I will.
I like that the Charlotte Rhea Ripley match. I like the Stadium Stampede.
I like the Stadium
Stampedes, yeah. That
was
there,
fun.
yeah.
Stadium Stampede's getting a lot of votes right now. There's
I
quite
like that New Day Usos Hell in a Cell from years ago. That was a great match.
From years ago.
From
from years ago.
Good match. I liked it.
It's a good match. Yeah.
That was this year.
Maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
I like that.
That was a good match.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart match from a few years ago.
That was a great match.
That was pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That Macho Man Ricky Steamboat WrestleMania 3. That was a great match.
yeah, I've heard of that one.
Ask Bar 86 in the chat room says that he can't believe that Randy Orton is headlining this show. Yeah, it looks like that has to be cinematic at this point. You would think, right? With Orton and Wyatt main eventing, it has to be some sort of cinematic flair to it. You would think.
Unless
Well,
it's
with no
because the
crowd-
whole building's going to burn down and they need to save it to the end.
Well, I was gonna say with no crowd, you can do a cinematic match within the Thunderdome.
Absolutely, they did it a couple weeks ago on Smackdown. I'm sorry, on Raw they had Bray Wyatt transform into the Fiend live on TV, quote unquote live. Yeah, so they can do it.
So I wonder if they plugged in different fans into the screens.
No, because the fans are pretty much seeing a show. So whatever is presented to them through TV is what they see. So they can show them whatever they want, and it'll be like as if it's live to them. Their reaction. will
Yeah,
be-
but if they're doing post-production filming in there, then how would that work?
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, they have pretty much a lot of footage they use because on NXT it's never live on Wednesdays. So they definitely have footage that they go to.
Right. So I think they might just plug fans in. That's the
Exactly. Exactly.
Do 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 do. Still no change in music.
No, might have to save that for WrestleMania. The Roman Reigns theme song.
Is the change to be expected though?
He mentioned it. He mentioned something about getting new ring gear and theme music. His ring gear has changed, kind of. He has no shirt anymore. He has a golden Infinity Gauntlet, but theme theme song is still the same.
Oh, the gauntlet again.
Yep.
Champion coming out first again. So is Kevin Owens going to jump him?
That's why he's Davey Portman, folks. Keen observations.
Is it just me, or has Roman Reigns definitely been hitting the gym in his time off? I feel like his
How would you have known?
biceps. I don't know if it's because of the fact that he doesn't wear a shirt anymore, but he looks like he's definitely a little bit bigger.
I feel the shirt. I feel like the Shield vest thing kind of hid a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm sure he's. This is a dude that works out. Look at him. But I reckon he had a pretty good bod before this.
Jordan, what are you highlighting back there? Is that like yogurt? What is that?
Gerber apple chicken, people. 2 packs they sell.
Okay. Do you eat that as an adult? Do you try the children's baby food? Is that something?
I actually ate a couple. This is a appropriate time to plug it. I have a podcast, Chocolate Croissants podcast, is a private Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/chocolate croissants. And if you go back within the group, which is private, to May 2020, I did a 60-minute presentation of sorts, offering my, we could say, my theory, perhaps my strategy, what I call rhythm-based marketing, and I go through the story of how I got a major pro wrestling company to create a full-time leadership position for me, and I did all of that while eating baby.
Interesting.
How did it taste?
Terrible.
All right, guys, it's our Universal Championship match. Those of you in the Twitch stream, if you don't mind doing me a favor, if you are on Twitter, give us a little plug. Promote the stream. We're at the highest number of people in the room so far tonight, so congratulations, guys. Thanks for joining us. Twitch.tv/upNXT at upNXT. Give us a little shout out on Twitter. Let's get some more people in this room. Sino, we mentioned earlier, I think this is one of the matches we're looking forward to the most. I think everyone's expecting Kevin Owens to do some crazy things. Are you seeing a Roman Reigns defense here? Like, is he going to retain, or do you think they might surprise us?
I think that Roman's is way too hot right now to drop the title, but the way they've been describing Kevin Owens right now, he's like telling his, like I said earlier, his wife and kids not to watch. He definitely has something up his sleeve. I feel like we're going to get a big stunt tonight. It's going to be like a big showing of Kevin Owens, but Roman's is definitely going to retain tonight. Like, the way he is right now, he's too hot to drop the title, but Kevin Owens is definitely going to have people talking after tonight.
Jordan, what about you?
What about me? I'm just putting myself over in the chat here on Twitch.
Yeah, you do it. Put us all over. Sino, put yourself over in the chat.
Yes! Love me.
Oh!
What happened? What did I miss?
It's as if I watch a lot of this shit.
You do have a good few seconds on us, Davey.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, you're definitely ahead of me. I was like, wait, what did I miss?
Apologize again.
That makes
what are you
perfect
supposed to
sense.
do?
That's why Roman came out first. This is the Kevin Owens show. I feel like this is his match.
So, Davey, were you asking what I thought would happen in this match?
Yeah, do you see Roman retaining, or do you see any sort of surprises here? Oh.
I don't see how they put the title on Kevin Owens right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're all on the same page here, but I think it should be a pretty good match.
Brandon from New Jersey thinks that the other Uso is returning tonight. I've been saying that for a while now. I feel like Jimmy Uso, is due to come back. He definitely has to come into the storyline somehow, whether it be with Jay or against them, but I feel like Jimmy definitely needs to get involved somehow.
Because we've had him a bit on TV, haven't we? Just not physical yet.
A little bit, yeah. Fire Frank says he was last seen on Hell in a Cell, which was back in October, right? So it wasn't that far ago.
Ooh.
And this is a TLC match, ladies and gentlemen. So tables, ladders, and chairs
Oh my.
are legal, and you have to climb the ladder to grab the title.
Oh.
Hey, John Cena,
Yes, sir.
what's your Wi-Fi password over there?
1, 2, 3, ABC.
Pretty good.
Actually, I'm at a friend's house. I'm at the studios where I record my Zombie Pod podcast. So I do not know the Wi-Fi password, and I would not say it on the air or on Twitch. But I'm sure it's intricate and important.
Plug that zombie podcast.
It is a horror-based podcast that we do every Monday. We put it up and we talk about horror-based subjects, whether it be movies, shows, just everyday life. I know we just recorded an episode about Christmas. So this coming Friday on Christmas, we'll have a horror-based podcast based on horror movies that have to do with Christmas. So should be fun times.
There we go. Subscribe, people. This
Subscribe.
man's working.
Zombie Pod, ZOMBIPOD.
So it looks like Jay's taken out of the match now, which could lead to Brandon's prediction of Jimmy being involved, but he's just had his ankle stamped with a steel chair. So it's a level playing field again for now.
Yeah, I think Brandon's right there. I think Jimmy can definitely get involved here tonight.
Hey, Brandon, if I opened a PWT store, would you buy a T-shirt?
Yeah, Jim. Wow, Jay's out of the match, huh? Oof. Yeah, that's way too early to take out Jey Uso. Something has to happen.
Yeah. Oh. I think Roman loves these stairs because it just makes him look like a beast. Andrew's saying that Roman's challenging the legendary Big Show Eric Rowan stairs match. Yeah, when are we going to have a stairs match again?
There was ladders and chairs. Yeah, that was that Big Show and Rowan?
Mm-hmm.
Rowan? Wow. Classic.
That was some good shit, fellas.
TLCS.
Yo, John Cena shot in the dark.
Yeah, that's me.
They should have renamed this year's Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Fire.
Yeah, tables, ladders, chairs, fire. Yeah.
That's a little ladder.
Andrew McDonald, aka Andrew Garfield, is reminding us that Eric Rowan's pet gimmick was this year.
Wow,
that does not feel like it was this year with the what was that, spider in a cage that we ended up getting? That was I don't know how to talk. That was weird.
This has been a long year.
Yeah. Fire Francis, the WLC was a legit match of the year for me. That was a great match. El Torito and Hornswoggle with the WLC match. You guys covered that in the best of the TLC, right? The best match ever TLC.
Go back to the archives. A year ago, we released a best match ever episode covering all the great TLC matches, and we did indeed talk about El Torito versus Hornswoggle in the WLC.
That was a great match.
With WWE Champion Drew McIntyre playing a heavy part in that.
He was. Jeez. We have Owens and Rowan and Roman swatting chairs here. Up.
Drew did a big front flip like over the top rope to the outside, yes?
Who was that?
In that WLC match, I think Drew took a crazy bump like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He was definitely involved in that heavily.
Memorable match.
People a fan of Kevin Owens in this match is desperation. Treating it like a real brawl, being on the floor but still kicking out. Trying to, like, scrappily get his opponent. Oh. Here we go. Oh!
Oh. Oof.
Roman talks to himself a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I like it.
His thing now.
Makes him scary.
You ever talk to yourself like that, Davey?
I think we all talk to ourselves. Like, it's weird when you see it, but when you think about it, like, I'm
But out
sure I
loud
talk
like
to
that?
myself.
Out loud?
Yeah. Sometimes.
You gotta make sure you're facing the right camera.
I sing to myself a lot.
I do that too.
Like, I'll change lyrics to things, to, like, whatever.
I do that too.
Yeah.
Been doing that to Santa Baby all week.
What's it changed to? Jordan Baby?
No, but it should be. Honestly, I don't even know. I'm not even really cognizant of what I'm saying. Just words and melody come out of me.
Andrew's been spying Big Swole's Twitter. Apparently she says the slurp business gonna be in full effect tonight.
Yeah, somebody sent me that on Twitter.
My word.
Might have been Andrew, but somebody sent me a tweet from Big Swole about that.
Oh, shit.
Big Swole. He's the head of every table. He's the head of your table, Jordan. He's the head of my table. Sino, is he the head of your table?
He's the head of my table.
He is?
He is definitely the head of the table. Yes,
I was
he
going to say,
is.
you're Italian. I'm sure you have a few heads of the table in your family.
I'll let Roman get the pass. He can take the head of my table. I'm not going to argue with him.
Jay's back.
Do we know that's Jay for a fact? How do we know?
The mullet, I think.
Nah.
Ooh.
Superman punch.
Naomi's gonna come out and make it okay to go.
Hi Shane. He's at work right now. So, yeah, he doesn't like taking time off for main roster stuff, which is fair enough. So it's myself and my other partners in crime. Slacker, I know, right? Proving that he's not the head of the table. I'm the big dog tonight. So we got loads of tables, got ladders, chairs, Usos,
Is it gonna feel weird when WWE just stops using the Thunderdome and they go back to regular fans? I feel like I've been so accustomed to watching these screens of fans here that when they go to regular fans, it's gonna be a little bit jarring to see.
I find that with so many things. Like playing Uncharted the other day, and I'm going through that like food market that's crowded with people. I was feeling uncomfortable.
Yep.
Animated video game characters being too close to me. You see, like, I'm watching a film and someone will get in a taxi, and I'm like, where's their mask? It's bizarre. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. Like, going back to my first event as well, I think I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not sure when it will be, but it's weird, definitely.
There were many years where I went to concerts more nights of the week than not. And even in the past few years, I'd go to at least a couple concerts every week, even mostly in this local stuff. But to be shoulder to shoulder with dozens or hundreds or eventually thousands of people will be surreal.
I think so. I mean, I would go to some sort of entertainment like you weekly, whether it's seeing live music at a bar I go to, going to a comedy club, going to the movies, a play, whatever. Like most weeks I'm going to do something like that. And it's been a long time. Was able to see Tenet for the brief time the movies were open, and that was cool, but yeah, I miss it. And you, especially, like, you're a musician, like that live music scene, it's sad.
Yeah, dude. I haven't performed in now over a year. We had a show, a significant headline show at the end of April booked that we were building months up to.
Yeah, I think you were telling me last week. It's fucked.
But it will be that much more sweet when we get it back.
Oh, absolutely. Completely.
And hopefully we'll be kinder to each other.
You would hope, wouldn't you? But I don't know. Jury's still out on that one.
Well, we can do what we can do.
Jey Uso's been taken out for what, second time in the match? This handicap match that they have, third? Yeah.
Oh, and it's the office chair.
Yep.
He's gonna walk into a spear or something. Go on, kid, make yourself famous. I hope so, Walt. I do. Oh, awesome, Kendall. Yeah, just message it to me on the Patreon. Oh! Phil, we've still got a big spot left in this match, right? Phil, we still have another 5 or so minutes. That's twice Cole called that a table.
Good ear.
At this point is lifeless. It was a hell of an effort by Owens, but right now Owens is defenseless. And Roman Reigns
Really like a sleeping cat.
Dave, you got Reese's Pieces in Canada?
We do have Reese's Pieces in Canada.
Oh, wow.
How come?
Guys are living large up north.
You a fan of Reese's Pieces?
Oh, yeah, I was gifted this box last night.
Oh my!
I'm
Who
jealous.
gifted you?
A cousin of mine.
Very nice.
We Jews typically go to the movies at
Yeah?
Christmas. That won't be happening this Christmas, so I got a care package of candy and popcorn.
You guys don't have theaters open? I don't know. Wonder Woman's showing in theaters this Christmas Day. And yeah,
They're open, but
nobody's going. Yeah, I don't blame you. When you can watch it on TV, or, you know.
I go. They pick shitty movies anyway that I end up going along with their plan.
So sorry, are movie theaters still open where you guys are?
For me, yes.
I believe
Yeah.
so. Maybe 25% capacity.
We had that for like a month or so and they're closed again.
Yeah, we have the Wonder
said,
Woman,
haven't been
Wonder
since
Woman
Tenet.
movies playing on Christmas. We have Monster Hunter is playing. Couple movies, nothing too crazy.
Langstonia, thank you for the cheers and thank you for the subscription. We really appreciate it. People in the room going on about Reese's Pieces.
Have you guys ever combined Reese's Pieces with popcorn? That's a really good mixture.
I've done chocolate and popcorn.
No, but I got it all now. Maybe
Maybe
I'll do that after this match.
Yes, chocolate and popcorn are a good combination.
Yeah, I like sweet and salty mix. Alright, who's coming out now? The disgust on Roman's face.
Langstonia's talking about chocolate and pretzels. Got me a little bit hungry right now. That sounds like a good combination. Chocolate and pretzels?
Roman is
Langstonia
such
became
a
a-
fantastic performer.
Langstonia became a father for a second time a few days ago.
Ah. Congrats. Well wishes.
And now he's in a pro wrestling watch along Twitch. Dreams do come true.
Roman's saying that KO's embarrassing his family. He needs to quit. Come on, we still got 2 more tables to smash. Oh! You see that, guys?
Yeah, he got a cut underneath that gauntlet of his.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
Roman
Owens
hurt
is
his
dead.
neck with the spear.
You think he legit hurt his? That actually looked kind of bad with his head.
No, I think he's just selling it. I think it's to allow Kevin Owens maybe a bit of a comeback. Owens still alive. You're gonna have to kill me.
I'm gonna adopt him.
Barricade spot, is it? Nice. Oh, Roman's back is pretty fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
This is fantastic.
As much as wrestling is predetermined, your body is still going through things it's not supposed to go through.
Yeah. Oh, for
So
sure.
I feel like
They're
it's
super
yeah. Oh jeez, Roman. Wow, fuck.
He just pulled the Jason.
Oof.
Hi, Stanley Taters. Yes, that is Godman of Instagram Live.
Love to
I
see
agree,
it,
Rishi.
people on Twitch. I actually trained to be a professional wrestler with one Stanley Taters
Oh yeah.
Ah.
back in 1999. I think he was 0-1. His professional record. Oh!
This Inferno match has to be something really special to follow this. Come on. This is fantastic.
Have they used fire in the build to it?
Yeah.
No. I mean, well, yeah, Orton. Yeah, he burned up
Orton
the,
tried to murder. What the? Is he? No! Oh!
You can't say Orton tried to murder and then just stop.
Sorry, it got exciting.
I understand.
Orton locked Bray in a box and set it on fire. He tried to murder him.
Oh. Florida.
That was a great stunner. Come on, you got it.
Come on, Owens.
Holy mother of God. Oh, we hit him in the...
No.
No. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Boo.
Man, Roman's got some nice ass teeth.
Yeah, they're new.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, since he returned a couple of months ago. Wow.
Okay. Wow.
I thought that was fantastic. I really got into that. As Chris Leone in the Twitch stream said, they actually had us biting on a few Kevin Owens wins there, which, considering all of us said Roman's retaining this, I think is pretty impressive when you bite on a finish. Jordan, what were your thoughts of that?
Again, I'm impressed by your guys' ability to get into these matches, given the amount of distractions with comments and the phone. It was good. If I'm doing this post show afterwards, which I'm happy to do, I don't know how much I'm gonna offer as far as analysis. But I feel like I'm having a fucking hangout with some friends, and I'm half paying attention, and it's enjoyable.
Sino, what's that you're shooting there?
Took a shot of a. What was that, Jose? Kraken rum. Sponsored, not sponsored by Kraken. Yeah, quick plug. Kraken rum. That match was great. I like the fact that like Jey Uso kept getting involved. You would forget about him, then he would pop up at the end. I like the finish with the whole him putting the submission hold on, and Kevin kind of just dropping off of there, and Roman grabbing the title. That was very innovative. You don't really see that too much, where it's like he just gives up. Kevin Owens the whole match was shooting, to the match where he just gave up and literally dropped off the ladder to Roman's one. But that was a really good match overall.
Yeah, I really liked it. What I liked is there wasn't so much of the milking of the climbing the ladder. Like, people would, even after a big spot, the other guy would climb pretty quickly and they desperately try to get back in. It didn't feel that killing time as I slowly climb this to have someone try and make the save, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and the camera angles work for sure with that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I thought that was really solid stuff. I think this pay-per-view's been incredibly solid.
Absolutely.
It seems consistent.
Yeah.
Based on everyone's reactions tonight.
I think just it works so much better doing these shorter cards. They got so carried away with just filling up these pay-per-views with so much stuff. This is going to be a bit on the longer side. I mean, most of the pay-per-views apart from that Survivor Series have clocked in at 2.5 hours. We still have one more match left. So we're probably finishing this around 10 o'clock, but yeah, we're coming to the Inferno match here. Did you, Cino, has this already aired, this Stone Cold Drew thing?
No, I think what they usually do is they put up on demand like the day of the pay-per-views, and then you kind of watch it live, quote unquote, after the show. So I think it's on the air, but I haven't watched it myself. But I'm really looking forward to this. I want to watch this Drew and Austin.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed all these Austin podcasts. I think it will be decent.
Does he still have his other podcast?
I feel like he stopped, right? He started putting reruns after a while, I feel like, with the whole pandemic. I feel like he hasn't really done new episodes.
Yeah, he doesn't do his audio podcast anymore, it seems. They just put classics on, like the older episodes. But he's been putting these out like monthly now, the network ones, and they're pretty good.
I know we spoke earlier about having fans in attendance. Would you start that at the Rumble, or would you wait till WrestleMania? I feel like the Rumble is one of the pay-per-views where without fans in attendance doesn't feel right. You have the whole countdown aspect of it, the surprise entrances. I feel like the Rumble kind of needs fans, whether it be very limited like NXT is doing. I feel like you need some sort of live presence in attendance for that.
Yeah,
Would you then strip away all the screens?
Some of them. I would do, like, I feel like how NXT is doing. NXT has some live screens and some, like, front row of fans. I would do maybe that sort of combination for it.
Maybe. It still feels too early to me, but look, I understand football games are doing it in stadiums.
Yeah. They're in the right arena. They're in a baseball stadium, so they have definitely the space to do it. They just haven't really presented it. Like, you're looking at the Thunderdome right now, you can't tell it's any different than the basketball arena they were using. It looks exactly the same, but they have the amount of space in this baseball arena, baseball stadium.
I mean, I would have felt they were going to announce fans if they were doing tickets anytime soon. They've just announced the Rumble.
Yeah.
But that's not to say they don't have like Performance Center and stuff like that. But they've been quite deliberate in keeping those separate, haven't they? The CWC and the main roster. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So we are getting Big E and Sami Zayn. Looks like on Christmas Friday.
Day.
Yep. Which they did present that they're gonna tape it on Tuesday. So they're not actually gonna have a live show on Christmas Day, which is good to know. They're gonna tape it on Tuesday and air it on Friday, which is refreshing to hear. As we go into our main event right now, our Inferno Firefly match.
Into this.
And I hope the fucking Bray kidnaps Randy.
Jordan, have you been paying attention much to this Firefly Bray Wyatt Fiend Randy Orton feud at all, or not?
No,
really?
I saw him do his few minutes of stand-up comedy in ring, and I turned it off right away.
Yeah, that was a little awkward.
I'm gonna just talk a little less for this to try and get what's going on.
Is this the match though, or is this the build to the match?
It's the build to the match, yeah. The match is happening.
But no, like I had no idea that there was an Inferno component to this.
They just announced that after this past Raw. They had like a segment where Orton was burning Wyatt, so they went ahead and announced that.
Okay, this is a great. And he always had the picture behind his head.
Hogan Bay, Mike Hogan says in the chat, if this is like the Cena Firefly match at Mania, I am very excited. I'm kind of hoping it is, but I'm not really expecting cinematic style as much as I would love. They could totally surprise us, but Orton's somebody that they could definitely go in the well and show a lot of his old gimmicks and styles that he had over the years.
If you would call that a match, I would put that as maybe my top 2 or 3 of the year.
What's that? The Firefly match? Really? Wow.
Yeah, with Cena. Yeah, I love that. I thought it was the most. I thought that was one of the first times this company entered the 21st century.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm actually, the fact that they're going on last makes me feel like it's going to be some sort of gimmicky time match.
Do you see this being a mix like cinematic but also in the actual arena? Or is this all going to just be fire kind of backstage in the
I feel like it's going to be a combination. I mean, we've been watching Impact. You know how they like to have their matches that go backstage and turn cinematic? I feel like it's going to be one of those type of matches, yeah. I've been a fan of these cinematic matches. People are talking about the cinematic matches in the chat room. Like, I made my top 10 for the upNXT Best of 2020, and I include a couple cinematic matches. I feel like, regardless of it being edited or just a little bit abnormal, it still is a great experience overall, especially in 2020. The Boneyard match, for example, it's not the best match of the year, obviously, but it just definitely stood out for me, where I can talk about it more than any other match that I saw this year.
I mean, I think there have been some excellent ones, but there's been a lot of just going, like doing a cinematic match for the sake of it. Like, what was the point of that whole Viking Raiders one?
Yeah,
like, didn't need to, and it just was going to the well. It's like, oh, this is what we do. So they just announced this is like classic Inferno match rules. This is set the opponent on fire.
Baby, the most important news is that Randy Orton is wearing pants.
Yeah, because he's gonna set on fire, right?
Holy crap.
What do you set on fire in his usual gear?
I've never seen Orton so fully dressed before.
Yeah,
I don't know how to react. It's really weird.
They talk to me. They talk to me. They something in my room. They do a big fat silly poo. They talk to me.
There you go, Davey.
They talk to me. They talk to me.
Does Braden talk to himself around the house?
Oh, yeah, he makes a hell of a lot of noise to himself.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So, I don't see the classic Inferno gimmick, right? Usually the Inferno matches has, like, the things around the rings. I don't see any sort of fire.
It looks
the
like
outside
it's
of the
arena.
Yeah.
So I think you got to go outside the ring.
Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Probably
Outside
a bit
the, yeah, it's weird.
safer, and you can actually do a few more
Yep.
cooler stuff within the ring.
Surrounded by fireworks.
That'd probably be a cool visual.
Yo, that sweater was hot, bro.
Do you guys remember the old video games where you literally have to have the Inferno matches and you push them under the ropes and you have to burn them?
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah, what game? It was a ECW Anarchy Rules had Inferno match, I think. Did any
Yeah,
of the WWE one? Oh, they had it on like the story, didn't they?
Yeah, they
I think
definitely had it
in
in the
2K.
Yeah.
Fire, light,
A Goldberg.
Hogan Bay says that this match was taped this afternoon, so it was already taped. So it looks like we might get some sort of a cinematic aspect of it if it was already taped. I don't see why else they would do that.
It's probably why it's at the end to send everyone home.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, all right.
Is Hogan Bay feeling better out there?
Following the COVID, yeah, he's COVID free now.
Mazel tov.
They talk to me. They talk to me. Backstage Assault had Human Torch matches.
Human Torch, I think, was Sting and Vampiro, if I'm not mistaken. It has a sort of Inferno fire match, if I remember correctly.
Didn't Sting and Vampiro have all the dumb matches?
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of Inferno and Graveyard matches. I really think you're our friends.
I'm about to spend money. This is good for you. You get better than I'm picking up other things.
Okay,
Cool
so
game
far it's been
beat.
10 minutes
Yeah.
of just entrances.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I mean, I didn't not expect that with Fiend and Orin. So Alexa has been away filming a movie. They said that's why she hasn't really been involved in this feud.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's weird because it started with her. It was like she
Yeah,
was
you'd
like
have
the.
thought they'd have written her out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Been RKO'd or whatever.
Nothing. Yeah.
I still think that lantern's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, I heard she's pregnant.
We can only imagine what the sadistic and warped mind of the Fiend and Bray Wyatt picked up.
Hooah! Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, Andrew, you could write books about Bray Wyatt's career, about how many opportunities are missed. I mean, how much do you end up putting on him over creative? Like, oh, my thing's just frozen.
I don't know. No,
Problem is, he just doesn't really have. You put a lot on him. I think a lot of his. Maybe he has too much creativity. I don't know. The gimmick's cool, but it's same thing I have with the whole Xia Li Boa thing right now. I think it's awesome, but it's how does it end up translating to a wrestling match? And I think that's something that Bray has never really figured out.
Yeah.
In any iteration of his character, he's had some good matches, like okay matches. I'd say pretty much Daniel Bryan in every iteration of his character. He's had an okay match. But other than that, I can't think of classic Bray matches.
Yeah, I
This is
agree.
exactly what
And
happened last time. My feed in the main event just starts breaking down.
You make a good point about like Xia Li. Like even when after all this is done, like when she comes out, she might come out and maybe like interfere and have some sort of moment, but when she actually wrestles, it's not going to translate. And that's like you said, one of their main issues is trying to get these big gimmicks and stories into the actual wrestling aspect of it, and it never works out for them. It's very hard to do that, to maintain that sort of momentum.
I mean, with Xia Li, I see she has to come in as a main eventer, really. Like,
Yep.
after all this, and you've got to see vast improvement in her ring work.
Oh yeah.
Not that she was terrible by any means. I quite enjoyed. I like Xia Li's style, but she's relatively new to this all.
Just have her come out and be dominant. Do like one move to Io Shirai or Rhea Ripley and have her just totally take them out, and that alone would leave you like, whoa, what is going on right now? Like just the actual, feeling it out and actually having that moment away from the move, it would make you appreciate it a lot more than just having an actual match where it's like she's not that special.
100%. And my network's playing up.
For me, you have Orton coming into the ring. They're still kind of like looking at each other. Fiends is in the corner, just waiting for Orton to jump into the ring.
That's what I got too.
Yeah.
Yo, I really like that theme song.
Bruh,
cool,
the
right?
Fiends?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's great.
Great song. Great song.
Oh, look at his eyes.
They're just staring each other down right now as the bell rings.
Did he lose a contract or has he been doing that?
Who's that?
Did he lose a contract or has he been doing that? Watch Bray. Look. He has one red, one blue.
My Zombie Pod co-host here has mentioned to me that Bray Wyatt is going by one blue contact, one red contact. I'm not sure if he's been doing that for a while, or if he dropped one or what, but
Good eye.
yeah.
Unintended.
Good eye.
So your buddy over there, what's
Yes.
his level of interest in WWE?
He watches. Jose's a pretty avid fan. I would say he watches all wrestling, New Japan, WWE, AEW, here or there. But I try to keep him intact with everything. But the big shows, the big pay-per-views, I feel like he always has his mind on, as we're doing right now, with the hashtag Firefly Inferno as they're promoting it here.
I'm not gonna finish with Piper Day.
So where's this fire?
Yeah, there's no fire. Usually, I think of Inferno matches. I feel like wasn't it like whenever somebody did a body slam, the whole ring would go up in fire? Is that
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
it
that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, what's leaking down Bray's face? Look at his neck.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there is some sort of liquid coming down from Bray's face. Yeah.
Papa Shango.
Interesting. I have to admit, when Bray Wyatt wrestles from The Fiend to Bray Wyatt, he seems like a totally different character. Like, just even the style he has, like the way he moves, feels totally different.
He's a talented guy.
Oh, yeah.
I always felt that's where Finn missed out. Like, I never saw any
Difference, yeah.
difference
with The Fiend.
between the Demon and... Whoa, a drop kick from Randy? I guess he hits them. Just...
Oh, yeah. Dropkick. Nice.
I kind of like how, whereas before, like, think First Blood, Stone Cold, and Kane, you're like, well, how is Kane gonna bleed? Here, they're both wearing, like, they're both fully covered, so it's not like, Kane, how you just saw that patch that's gonna be lit on fire throughout the whole match.
It's so
You
weird
could
seeing
buy it
Randy,
going either way here
Randy-
from the attire.
Randy and skinny jeans just seems really awkward for me right now. Yeah.
So do they need to set the place on fire themselves?
I have no idea. I don't
He's
know.
wearing his trunks underneath it. It's funny.
The old school rules was the bottom of the ropes was fire, and if you light your opponent on fire, you would win. But I don't know what's going on with this one. I mean, Orton just went under the ring.
Yeah, that's just pretty
there's-
awesome.
There's the fire. Okay.
The fire. See the eyes?
That's okay. I mean, the effect looks cool.
No, that's dope. Safer too.
That was funny. Isn't Randy at a disadvantage there for not being magic?
Yeah. Does
Like if
Orton not
Randy
have
hit the
power?
RKO, what did he need to do? Find gasoline? Find a lighter?
Does the fire stay on the entire rest of the match now?
I would think so.
I mean, this is good. You don't have fans there. You don't have to worry about the fans like getting burnt. So that's good.
So I missed it. Did Bray do something to, like, quote, trigger that fire?
Yeah, he just sort of taunted. He kind of like raised the fire with his magical fiend powers.
It's a hell of a visual.
S. Bra says this is really boring already.
Oh, clotheslines get some more heat.
I see what you did there, Jordan. Getting some more heat.
Say again?
A strap
I see
there?
what you did there with getting some more heat.
Oh yeah, unintentional, but effective nonetheless.
Do you think this is going to be Fiend's new gimmick? Get rid of the red lights and just everything's on fire all the time?
I'm so happy the red lights are gone. So
Oh,
Bray
it was
Wyatt.
so terrible.
Yeah, it was so distracting, I guess, when he wrestled with the red lights. It was cool for like 5
Oh
seconds.
shit. Oh, I like that.
Is that a
Burnt.
oof?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That camera
That's,
was positioned really well too.
Circus rules.
I like that. Okay. Oh yeah, this is definitely pre-taped for them to do these stunts, I would think.
A pickaxe? What the fuck?
What do you guys think Mason T-Bar are up to right now?
On Twitter somewhere, tweeting something interesting.
Oh, that
His-
happens on DVD.
His you guys noticed that the Bray Wyatt chair is by ringside.
Yeah.
I just saw the little rocking chair is there, yeah. Interesting.
Has he used that as the Fiend?
Not as a Fiend, no. Well, I haven't seen that in a while. I know Orton like showed it off
It was in the
as
Braun
part
match,
of his background.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
The swamp
Oh.
match.
There we go.
Yo, that SWAT match was dumb as fuck.
Oh, it was terrible. Horrible.
You remember Orton burnt down Wyatt's house, right? With the chair and everything.
Yeah. Randy on the back of his hoodie has like a tally. Is that meant to be like all the legends he's killed?
Yeah. That makes sense.
He's like, what's the guy from Batman
Oh,
who scars?
I thought you meant
himself?
like Towley from South Park.
tally.
You're a Tow.
I think you're thinking of Victor Zaz, who has the tattoos of the
That's the one.
check marks on his. Yep, that's it.
MJ from NJ has just put the show on, and he's loving this match.
What's up,
MJ, you've
MJ?
missed a good show. Oh, fuck. He's on the chairs. Covered in gasoline.
This is a type of match that works very
Oh!
well in this environment, I would think.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
Automatic hybrid, though.
Those cuts are kind of silly though.
Yeah, but, you know, safe.
Jose makes a good point next to me here. It says this is a very good hybrid of cinematic and wrestling because you have like they're in the ring, they're not leaving the actual arena, but you're still doing cinematic style spots.
This
Like
is
this
almost
burning
like
chair.
Edge versus Randy as an Inferno match.
Yeah.
You know, it's still meant to resemble a match, but you can see cuts to like sweeten it, and obviously with a few more stunts.
It's like literally your best and my best.
MJ's asking if this show is worth the watch. What do you guys think?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. I don't think there's been a dud.
Absolutely.
I would agree. I just don't think I'm that into WWE right now.
That's fair.
I would like to be, but I'm sure by the time the Rumble comes around, then I'm gonna want to be more invested.
For sure, yeah.
It's just hard.
It's TV. Like I'm enjoying the quality of the matches, and I'm also, it's during a time where there's, you know, not much to do. I'm doing these watch-alongs anyway, so I want it to be good.
Of course.
But that kind of excitement of, oh, I can't wait to see this match, and has worn off. And that's largely down to creative.
Davey, if you weren't involved with a podcast, do you think you'd be watching this right now?
I'd watch it at some point. I'd possibly be in a bar and watch it in the morning or when I got home. Like, if there wasn't a pandemic, you know? I'd still be following. I've got lots of friends from wrestling, so I like keeping involved with it. I hate that move.
Yeah, it's silly.
It's like, every film I've ever watched, that's how you, like, kill a guy.
You know what's funny? When Tiny Lister Zeus passed away, I was watching back some of his highlights, and that's one of the moves that he would do on Hulk Hogan. He would go and kind of break the neck, and that was like one of the first times I remember seeing that move. And they still do it.
Do you think with, like, the spectacle this should go on last?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I think so. With the way this match has been going, it definitely should have that main event spot.
It's hard to follow Fire.
That's true. Hard to fire.
Didn't Kane Bray open SummerSlam that year? Was it SummerSlam 15? 14? 14.
That sounds, 13. That sounds right.
13, jeez.
13?
Yeah, it would have been 2013 because it was Bray Cena.
Oh, I thought you meant like. Oh, I was thinking WrestleMania 13.
Oh no.
Oh no, not that far back.
What did I miss?
Eric's actually watching the show for once, and I think he's mad at the length of this match already. He's hoping it doesn't go 30. Oh.
Same. I'm exhausted. I don't know how you do this all the time, Davey, and then do a review show after the fact. and this is a pay-per-view. This isn't even like a episode of TV.
I'm still drinking coffee.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh!
Somebody's gonna catch on fire tonight.
Oh!
There it is.
Shout out to Frank in the chat room. Wyatt is fire.
RKO on fire.
Yo, shout out to Bray Wyatt for just being on.
Yeah. Now we know why he wore that jacket tonight. It must have
I
been
was thinking that too.
Yeah, the fire. It must be some sort of fire resistant jacket because he never wears that jacket while wrestling.
And why would it just go out?
Yeah, that was cool.
So, but is that how you end the match?
No, I don't. I
What?
don't
Now
think-
you have to pin the
Do you
guy
have to
after
set them
set
on fire and then pin it? They did. Like, Mike Rome said you got to set the guy on fire.
Okay.
Has there been a referee out there?
No.
Where's the bell?
They forgot the double tap.
Yeah. No ref. No.
Fucking killed him.
I mean, like, if I was 8, this would be pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I think I dig this as a kid. I think I really liked the old Inferno matches as a kid, and they're terrible.
True.
I mean,
MVP was in one, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, MVP and Kane had an Inferno match.
That was like MVP's maybe pay-per-view debut.
Yeah, because MVP was rocking the giant long sleeve
What's Randy
suit.
thinking?
So yeah.
He looked remorseful, and now he's like, yeah. He's gonna punt him or something?
Yeah,
What's
man,
going
there's
on?
no ref. How do you win?
Killing him.
Do you have to completely set him on fire? Oh boy.
Oh, I wonder.
Okay.
So did they ring a bell to start the match?
I thought this match should be over. Like, Bray's definitely gonna sit up, isn't he? He's saying, God forgive me. What's going on?
God forgive me.
Yeah, this is it's kind of sexual.
Oh, jeez. Yes.
Somebody told you. I just want to see him come out of the fire.
Rasputin from Zombie Pod says that he's gonna rise from the fire.
Look, it's a dummy. The tattoos
Yeah.
are gone.
Really?
Yeah, the tattoos
Randy,
are
don't
gone.
do it, Randy.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's not Bray Wyatt. That is not Bray Wyatt.
Holy shit! What a visual.
Oh fuck. Jesus.
Yo, murder.
Fire Frank, where are you in the chat? This show is fire.
Yo, match of the night.
Holy shit, that is lit. As Braden Harrington would say, that is lit.
Oh my god, yo, wrestling is so dumb.
That's how you.
That was great.
Oh boy.
I enjoyed that.
Fuck. All right, wrestling 2020, huh?
Okay.
Fiend is crappy character.
So did they ring a bell or no?
Yeah, the match ended. I guess that was it. The
You
match
had to
ended.
literally set the whole thing on fire?
Yo, what's this Lex Luger thing?
Some new icon show that's coming out where they're
A documentary?
focusing on people. Yeah. Oh, Lex Luger. Wow, first person. Interesting.
All
I
right.
don't really talk about
Yes,
it.
yeah.
So that was TLC 2020. What a show. We are going to take a little break right now. Are you guys still sticking around with me for the post show?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm down.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
So the time's now 10 o'clock. Let's say 10 past 10. We'll be back here on the Twitch feed with our post show. Thank you very much for all of you for joining us today. If you're bowing out now, thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you had a good time. If you haven't already hit that follow button, please hit that follow button. And we'll see you all in just about 10 minutes, and we'll run down the whole event. Okay? Take care, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you very soon. Good night. Bye.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.